Game that we have been waiting for all weekend long. A pair of unbeaten teams, Glenbard West and Lincoln Way East. And for the call of it, let's head upstairs and say hello to Dave Bernhardt and Matt Bowen. Gentlemen.
Thank you very much, man. And indeed, we have been waiting for this for a long, long time. Now, Matt Bowen, you have played on this field as a member of the Green Bay Packers. You have played on this field as a member of the Iowa Hawkeyes. You're in a Glenbard West uniform. You like your football, you like it physical, you like it fast. You're going to get it here tonight.
We're going to see that from both teams. You know, Glenbard's a powerful football team, downhill running game. With Lincoln Way, think Oregon, think up-tempo, spread the field. One of the best quarterbacks in the state.
We can't wait to get it going. Let's get back downstairs and to Matt Rodewald.
All right, guys, the Hilltoppers trying to win their first state championship in nearly 30 years, and Lincoln Way East trying to be state champions for the first time since 2005. The 7A title game is next. So many people expected to see this matchup for the state championship in 2011. Instead, we have it here tonight. 13-0 against 13-0. Glenbard West and Lincoln Way East next here at Memorial Stadium in Champaign. And welcome into our Class 7A state championship matchup. Matt Rodewald with you here. So excited for this one because it's fast, it's defense, and it's everything that we all expected here when the brackets came out back in October. And to hear more about it, let's head upstairs to Dave Bernhardt and Matt Bowen. Guys.
Thanks, Matt. And you know, we take a look, Matt, is this ball game, defenses, powerful, offenses can score. What gives in a ball game like this when two teams are so evenly matched?
Ball security. Look at turnovers, look at penalties, look at crucial situations of the game. I'm talking red zone, third and short, third and medium. Who can make the big plays? You know, you talk about Tommy Fiesel. Anyone who's watched Northern Illinois play this year, he might be the next Jordan Lynch. He can make plays with his feet. And for a tall, linear athlete, he's got great balance, great footwork, fun player to watch.
You know, and for both these teams, they've been here before. Matt Rodewald just talked about that. But both these coaches so experienced in big games. What's going through the players' heads, though, right now?
Well, there's going to be some pressure. You're playing on the big stage now as a state championship. No different than when I played in the NFL playoff stage or playing in the Big Ten, playing in Columbus, up in Ann Arbor. Big plays, but you need big plays in big situations.
All right, we're just about set. It is cold, it is crisp, and it is great football coming your way. The Class 7A title ball game. Glenbard West, Lincoln Way East. It comes up next. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium, your Class 7A title game coming up. Lincoln Way East, Glenbard West. They are both top-ranked teams. They've tied for the top spot in the AP final rankings, both 13-0. Dave Bernhardt along with Matt Bowen, and let's break it down, Matt. Keys to the ball game. A lot of folks have been studying this game for a long time. Well, what do you see?
Well, you start with Glenbard West. You start with the running back depth. We talked about Scotty Andrews all week. He's banged up. Look at Devontae, Tony, Joey Zito. They like to run the football. They have a lot of depth at the tailback position. Don't forget about Nathan Marcus, the Vanderbilt commit. He's listed as a tight end. He's 6'5", 220, can split off from the core of the formation. That's a tough matchup for Lincoln Way.
And how about Lincoln Way East? What do you see for them?
Keep the up tempo. Make Glenbard play fast. You know, Lincoln Way wants to spread the field. 3-4 wide receiver sets. Run the read option. And just wear them down.
Let's take a look at how Glenbard West made their way to this state title ball game here in 2012. They got it going against Elk Grove Village, a team that will throw the ball. Easy win over Libertyville. Take a look at that 3-0 win over Wheaton North. That came in a mud pit. A field goal, obviously, the difference. And then the win over Lake Zurich, avenging a loss in the second round to the Bears. Scott Andrews, we talked about him, Matt. He is a playmaker.
He is. He's their home run threat. He's a guy that can press the edge of the defense. He's a little banged up, though. We got to keep an eye on that ankle.
Then we like this guy, Nathan Marcus. He is headed to Vanderbilt.
Think fade and slant here. What are they going to give him? They give him off man coverage. They give him press man coverage. You can take some shots down the field, try to create field position with him.
We'll look to see him on the defensive side, and we will see number 10, Ruben Dunbar, defensively.
Here's the thing about Dunbar. You got to contain the quarterback. You're playing an athletic kid at quarterback. You can get up the field, but you can't let him get outside. That's where he makes all of his plays.
For Lincoln Way East, their road goes this way. They win over Plainfield Central now. The 22 points scored by Plainfield Central, the most Lincoln Way East has allowed all year. An emotional battle against Providence Catholic, a crosstown rivalry, if you will, a 10-point win there. Then came from behind an early deficit against Edwardsville, to blow out the Tigers, and then a dominating performance against Bennett Academy, and this is one of the reasons why quarterback Tommy Feasel.
He might be one of the best players in the state. I mentioned Jordan Lynch. You can look at the NFL and look at Robert Griffin III from Washington Redskins. They use him the same way, those read option looks where he can get outside the defense, make plays. You got to keep him in the pocket.
And Kyle Langendorfer, not a big man, but a great linebacker.
Now listed at 5'8", 150, plays much bigger than that. You watch him on film, he can blitz, he can tackle. He's a physical football player, fun player to watch.
Running back that also has run over 1,000 yards along with Tommy Feasel is Nick Colangelo.
Well, you can't run the read option without a running back. You have someone that can grind out yards, move the sticks. He's going to get a lot of carries tonight because it's going to be based off what the Glenbard defensive ends do.
These teams were both eliminated in the second round last year when they were each undefeated at 10-0. The quest has been to get back to this ball game. The brackets were set 5 weeks ago. Glenbard West on one side, Lincoln Way East on another. They meet for your 7A state championship game.
The IHSA State Football Finals are proudly presented by Country Financial.
Great to have you with us here for our continuing coverage of the IHSA State Football Championships. Matt Bowen and Dave Bernhardt in the booth. Let's welcome in our home team sideline reporter, that's Susanna Collins.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, I'm here with the Hilltopper side, and I just spoke to Coach Hetlet, and he said one of the keys for his team today is their defense. They have been outstanding all season, only allowing 8.4 points a game. They've been shutting down potent offenses all season long. They're going to have to do it again. They've had the work cut out for them against Tommy Feasel. Guys, we'll send it over to Matt.
You know, so much of what's going on with Lincoln Way East has nothing to do with 2005, the last time they won a state championship. They won so much, but got stopped in the second round. I talked with Tommy Feasel this week. He made it very clear that this game is about winning it for all those guys that had so many good seasons, but couldn't quite close the door. They could seal the deal tonight.
Thank you very much, Matt. Our officials in this ball game, they have earned their way here. The referee is Peter King. He'll be joined by Richard Biederman, Thomas Moran, John Dacey, and Fred Alleman. Crowd is bundled up here today. A lot of black on that side. Here is your current weather conditions. It's been cold, but the wind nowhere near what it was yesterday. We'll work with the wind chill of 23 degrees as we kick it off here in Class 7A. Lincoln Way East won the toss. They have deferred until the second half. From the 3-yard line, Hayden Carlson. And that ball is on the ground. Did the whistles blow? The bond with a pile. It will go to Glenbard West after the 21-yard return.
We talked about ball security at the top, Dave. You know, Glenbard West catches a break there. That ball looked like it might have been out.
It will be Hilltopper football as they'll start from the 22. The quarterback is Henry Hafner. He has given the Hilltoppers the dimension they've not had in the past. He can throw the ball, and he'll come right out and do just that. And he'll go to Nathan Marcus, a loss of a yard. Let's take a look at the Buffalo Wild Wings starting lineup, first of all, for Glenbard West. We mentioned Henry Hafner. He'll be working with a skilled backfield. A lot of different weapons in this backfield. DeMonte Tony, he'll get the yards up the middle. We talked about Scott Andrews. Joe Zito can get to the outside. Nathan Marcus, tough as well. Good offensive line. On the right side, Eric Shute is going to be a great one. He's joined on that right side by Max Bruer. Loss of a yard on play number 1. This is Scott Andrews, and he'll go backwards. Defensively for Lincoln Way East, they have had 2 negative yardage plays to start it. This is how it looks for them. Adam Hall, Mike Stakowicz, Scott Kressel, and Kurt Oldrich, a very smart defensive line. Linebackers, it's a key to their defense. Mitch Murphy, Adam O'Grady, and Kyle Langendorfer. And in the secondary, they'll hit you hard. Jared Lekas, Sean Doherty, Mo El-Masri, and Brandon Sleeman.
You bring them back secondary, Dave. Last week on film against Bennett Academy, they're playing hard. They're opportunistic. They'll go after the football, and they will come downhill and put a hat on you.
Hafner, the give up the middle. Gain of 4, and that is 14 yards to a first down. They get 4 of it back, and it will be punting time here on the first offensive series. Get a look at number 51 there for Glenbard West. That's the All-Stater left guard, Nick Garland, one of the best players that Chad Hetlett has ever coached.
You saw what they tried to do in that series. First time they tried to get the ball to Nathan Market to split him out wide. It didn't produce. Now you're in a punting situation. Not the type of drive you want to start with for Glenbard West.
Richard Johnson back to kick, averaging 35.9 yards per kick. Justin Corbett on the return. And not a good kick. It will go out of bounds in Glenbard West territory. The Lincoln Way East Griffins to take over at the 44-yard line following a 21-yard kick by Johnson.
Now, if you're the Glenbard West defense, Dave, you know, the offense didn't produce. It's a short kick. You have to come out. It's sort of an adverse situation to start the football game in plus territory. We talked all last week when you and I were together. They're fast. They're very fast. They're good at reading their run pass keys. This is a unique offense, though. Let's see where their eyes are that first snap.
Looking into the eyes of Ruben Dunbar. Big-time college prospect. Tommy Fiesel, the quarterback for the Griffins. First carry of the game will go to Nick Colangelo, and the Buffalo Wild Wings Lincoln Way East offensive starters look like this. We mentioned Tommy Fiesel leading this club. Nick Colangelo along with Chris Peary, Austin Winkler, Justin Corbett, and Josh Mihalovich. They'll get touches, and the offensive line has really come on, led by center Nick Allegretti, Nick Porkeritis, Mitch Arvidsson alongside him, Plunkett and Weekendorf on the tackles. Colangelo again. And he's able to stretch it out close to a first down. Glenbard West defense will look like this. A defense that's given up only 8.4 points per game, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Dunbar, Wheeler, A.J. Smith on that defensive front. The linebackers are Marconi, Hassan, Greeno, Dayton, and Stillman. In the secondary, they could be tested tonight. Keyshawn Matthews, Charlie Sweeney, and Hayden Carlson.
Go back to that previous play. They're going to ride the running back to the mesh point and read that defensive end. Same situation here.
3rd and 2. That's a first down. Justin Corbett on the carry. Corbett checks in with 900 yards this year. First down carry for the Griffins.
You can see they read that defensive end. They're going to ride that running back to the mesh point. You see it a lot. Option football is option football. It doesn't matter if you're under center in the shotgun. They're still going to have a primary read.
This will be the first carry for Fiesel. Fiesel to the outside. Close to a first down.
If you play defensive back for Glenbard West today, one of the keys for you is tackling. Secondary run support. I mean, the front seven is going to do their job, but you're going to have to run those alleys, make a play. We see Fiesel here get to the outside, have to square down, come to balance, make the tackle.
Numbers for Tom Fiesel this year. He has rushed for over 1,500 yards, passed for nearly 1,100. We'll ride the option to the left side, and the Glenbard West defense is there this time. Ruben Dunbar down near the bottom on Colangelo's 3rd carry of the game.
Ruben Dunbar needs to have a big game. We talked about Dave. He's a big-time talent. He's a Division I talent. You want to see a Division I effort out of him tonight. And one thing against option football, make that ball go laterally to the line of scrimmage so your buddies can get there and help out in the tackle.
A 3rd down and 4. Fiesel's first pass of the night. Threw it a little bit behind his intended receiver. He had him open over the middle. Fiesel will take a look at a 4th and 4.
What they're trying to do there is they're running double smash routes at the inside. You got a vertical seam up the field, and you try to hit one of the double smash routes.
Fiesel under pressure, misfired on the pass to Corbett. Now more pressure, 4th down and 4. Fiesel will try to do it himself. And he will have it on second effort as he gets inside the 20. Fiesel, not a big man, 6'3", 180. He gained 30 pounds in the offseason, and that 30 pounds was enough to get the first down here.
It's a design quarterback run, Dave. He gets to the outside, bounces outside. This is just an effort play. It's 4th down. You have to know where the sticks are. Get upfield, move the sticks, and now we get to see what they can do here in the red zone.
Grant Greeno, number 11 for Glenbard West, had an opportunity. Fiesel got out of it. And on the handoff, we get a flag thrown on the far sideline. And we see the illegal procedure signal going against Lincoln Way East. Griffins 13-0. They won the state championship in 2005.
Illegal procedure on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Down remains 1.
That victory in 2005 came in one of the great state championship games over Maine South, 30-24 in double overtime. Last time Glenbard West was playing on this field, it was one of the all-time classics, losing to Wheaton Warrenville South 31-24, also in double overtime. Fiesel to keep. He'll get the 5 penalty yards back. It will be second down. Fiesel, considered by his coach the most electrifying player that they have had in Lincoln Way East history.
You'll see a lot of this, Dave. He's going to read that defensive end like we talked about, get up the field. He's also going to cut it inside. We're going to get to the edge plays and the inside plays to test the interior of that defensive line.
Fiesel being chased. This is when he is dangerous. But it's the Hilltoppers that come up big. Reuben Dunbar comes off the pile. Also, Eric Strittmatter, number 6, number 5, is Contrell Silman.
That's one thing you and I talked about before the game. I go back to my pro career when we played against Michael Vick a bunch of times. You have to keep him in the pocket. Make him throw to beat you. And you have to understand you got to have both edge support. Because if you let him outside and your defensive back, it turns into playground, tough to cover.
Third down and long, 18 yards to a first down. Stops, plants, up for grabs. And Lincoln Way East ends up playing defense. Fiesel under pressure once again. Good secondary coverage by Glenbard West. It's a good job here by Chris Puri to break this pass up.
It's a nice way to put a hit on the quarterback, too. As Dunbar, again, he's showing up a lot here, Dave. That's what we talked about at the top of the show. He needs to show up. He's making some plays already.
Reuben Dunbar, 6'3", 255. Now, Fiesel is also the punter here on 4th and 18. The ball inside the 30-yard line. Under pressure again. To the end zone, overthrows Justin Corbett. The ball will go over on downs to the Hilltoppers.
I like the play call though. It's double post. And when you're in red zone football, you want to run 2 inside posts, try to get the safety to come inside with the interior post and hit the outside post. It's a smart play call. Just the ball a little bit overthrown to the upfield shoulder.
Fiesel has had people in his face all night. So Glenbard West will turn away the Griffins. The Hilltoppers take over at their own 29 with 6.5 to play here in the first quarter. The speed of the Lincoln Way defense shuts the door on that play. The give to the left side, and that is Scott Andrews. We talk about an electrifying player for Lincoln Way East, Fiesel. Andrews, who's been suffering from an ankle injury, once he can get out a little bit of space, he can be exciting as well.
Yeah, but they have to get him out. Right now, Lincoln Way is flying to the football. They're playing edge control defense, and they're setting the edge of that defense. If you're a corner in this secondary right now, you have to squeeze that run inside and make it cut back up the field.
To the right side and penetration, once again by Lincoln Way East. Number 3, Kyle Langendorfer. He stands all of 5'8". You don't believe the 150 pounds.
Well, you see him right there. He comes inside, cuts the edge right there, blows the blocker up, and makes the tackle. You don't see that very often. It's a guy taking on the block and making the tackle.
An all-state football player, also won the 138-pound wrestling championship last year. In fact, he was considering concentrating on wrestling and maybe bypassing his senior season of football. He thought about it. He's playing for a state title here tonight in Champaign. A 3rd and long. Henry Hafner under center. And the catch is made. Perfect throw by Hafner. The diving reception made by Nathan Marcus, and he's a little wobbly getting up. Listed as a tight end, but he has wide receiver skills.
I like this play call. They get Hafner outside the pocket. And this is just a deep comeback. And when you're running a deep comeback, you want to push that corner up the field, force him to open his hips. Then you can snap back down, create some separation, and go get the football. Andrews and Devontae Toney in the backfield behind Hafner.
This is Joey Zito. Not much.
And that's one thing, Dave. You know, Glenbard West is a power football team. They want to win in early down and distance situations. Yes, they made a play on 3rd and 7+, let's call it. You can't live like that the entire football game. You have to produce in those first couple downs.
Hilltoppers, 1983 state champions under head coach Jim Covert. Finished second, as we mentioned, in 2009. Also in 1976, the head coach Chad Hetlet, in his 6th season, 64 wins and just 10 losses. There's Hafner's numbers on the season in the air. Tony, who stays on his feet, pays a price for it. Number 10 for Lincoln Way East, part of that linebacking core, Adam O'Grady.
One thing you want to think about if you're Glenbard West, they're really coming downhill hard, Dave. Those defensive backs, they're flat foot reading, coming down, attacking the line of scrimmage. Not here on 3rd down, but you start looking ahead, start setting your game plan. Maybe you start looking at getting some play action, taking a shot down the field.
Another 3rd down and long for West. Play action. First down catch. Great pattern. Great ball movement. First down, Hilltoppers. Nathan Marcus again.
It's nice to have a Division I player at that wide receiver position. He's just playing off the leverage of the defensive back here, Dave. He's going to bust to the outside, little option route, or he can't call it an outcut. Get to the sticks. New series.
To the Lincoln Way East 46-yard line. First and second down. The yardage has been tough to come by here on this possession. Once again, it was Devontae Tony. He gets those dirty yards up the middle.
That's one thing you'll notice about Tony. We watched it last week in the semifinal game. He's more of a downhill runner. He'll really drive his legs on contact. If you're going to be a free safety, strong safety coming up into the box, you better set your paths with Devontae Tony. He runs really hard.
There's Chad Hetlet. He revitalized this Glenbard West program when he came 6 years ago. Again, Hafner. Perfectly thrown to the near sideline. And it's Scott Andrews on the reception. Andrews last year, 28 touchdowns as a sophomore. He gets 23 yards on that first down reception. He can do it with his legs. He can do it with his hands.
You know, they got 2 inside verticals here. That's going to bring the safety to the middle of the field. What you do is you create that one-on-one matchup on the outside. That's a rail route, or what I call a wheel route. Get that one-on-one matchup laid out there. As you talked about, Dave, Scott Andrews can do it all for Glenbard West.
Henry Hafner, 4 of 4 for 47 yards. His last 3 completions have been on 3rd down. They've been for first down. And had that flag not been thrown, Glenbard West had something going there.
I'd had something.
Dead ball foul. Illegal procedure on the offense.
A little bit
5-yard penalty.
anxious
Down remains
offensively.
1.
There's Scott Andrews. Stands 5'8", weighs 170.
Well, one thing you like if you're a Glenbard West fan is the concern this week was the ankle. They're giving him a lot of touches. They're featuring him right now in the game plan. You have to be excited about that. It looks like the ankle's holding up. He's ready to go.
He came out of the ball game at the half with a sore ankle in the semifinals. He was on the stationary bike just in case they needed him. The Hilltoppers from Glenbard West had built up a 19-0 lead. They eventually got close in 1913. They didn't need Andrews. Hafner to the end zone. What a throw! You cannot lay it in any better than what Henry Hafner did to Nathan Marcus. 25 yards for a score.
We talked about it, Dave. That's ball placement. Let's talk about the quarterback first. If you're going to throw the fade, it's just like Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees on Sunday. You have to put it over that upfield shoulder so your wide receiver can go make a play for you. And with Nathan Marcus, that's a big target to throw through. He wins at the line of scrimmage. Great play, great finish.
We came prepared tonight to talk about the running backs, the depth. We've seen that for Glenbard West, but it's been the right arm of Hafner and the ball catching of Marcus. Hayden Lacoste for the extra point. He knocks it home. with 2:30 to play in the first quarter. Glenbard West hits the scoreboard. Henry Hafner 5 of 5 on the drive. The last 25 yards to Nathan Marcus for the score. Welcome you back to Memorial Stadium. You look into the Lincoln Way East sidelines. They've just given up a touchdown drive. And Matt, we talked about prior to this ball game, Nathan Marcus, the all-stater, you have to get the ball in his hands, and indeed they did.
Yeah, you got to give him targets. And we saw a lot of things. We saw the comeback, we saw the outcut, we saw the fade in the red zone. And I think that's really Glenbard West's game plan right now, because you saw they weren't winning in early down and distance situations, having trouble with their power football game. Hey, spread it out, throw the football a little bit.
And that is what makes this offense different this year. Henry Hafner, the ability to throw the ball, not just on play action, but on plays where he needs to get downfield.
Yeah, and that's what I call a bucket throw. You drop it over that outfield shoulder. No one can make the play but your own wide receiver.
Lakash has that ball teed up, ready to roll. These teams met 2 years ago in the second round. Glenbard West won that ball game 42-28. Mo Amasri will bring it across the 30-yard line. When we come back, Lincoln Way East, a chance to match the score. A cool night here. Well, let's call it cold, 23-degree wind chill. Tom Fiesel, quarterback, taking snaps from Nick Allegretti, a junior, offers from Northwestern U of I in Indiana. A gain ever so slight here to the near sideline for Fiesel.
What you notice there, Dave, is he's got to run lateral again to the line of scrimmage. There was a corner all the way to the outside. He holds the block off and forces him to cut back inside. There's nowhere to go. They keep coming, make it go to the sideline.
Lincoln Way East this year adjusted their offense. They adjusted because of the talents, mainly if Tom Fiesel went from a double wing to a spread. And a short gain on second down. Justin Corbett with the carry. Corbett also dangerous as a receiver, 27 catches for a couple of touchdowns. Averages 7.4 yards per carry on the ground.
You can see here, Dave, they're going quick. It's a no huddle. They got everyone at the line of scrimmage. This is that up tempo we talked about at the top of the show. Let's see what they come with here. Big third down play early in the game.
Fiesel, little quarterback draw. Black jersey surround him, and down goes Fiesel. Reuben Dunbar will get credit for the sack.
Dunbar would get credit, but there's a lot of guys back there. And again, that was a design quarterback draw. That's what they wanted to do here. You start looking ahead to this game, they might have to start throwing the football. Maybe just a quick slant, those inside breaking routes in those third down situations.
He spreads the field in his punt formation at 4th and long. And that's not a good kick. Takes a kind roll for the Griffins, and they'll be happy to get it that far out after the boot by Fiesel. Glenbard West to start from their own 43-yard line with that 7-0 lead in the final 30 seconds of the first quarter following the 31-yard punt. Well, we crowned 4 state champions yesterday. Earlier on today, Montini picks up their 4th title in a row. Crete Monee, an exciting 33-26 win over Cary Grove. And following this 7A game, we'll get another good one for you. Mount Carmel looking for the 11th state title to take on Glenbard North. That's right, Glenbard West here in the 7A game, Glenbard North in 8A. The ball in the lead, Hafner again. That time he threw into traffic. He was looking for Marcus. Number 9, Sean Doherty on the coverage. He had a couple of interceptions last week against Bennett.
Again, that misdirection look in the backfield, and I don't blame Hafner there. You got a big receiver like that, take a shot. Take a shot down the field, see if your guy can make a play for you.
6'5" receiver on the other end. Doherty right there with him. Marcus's numbers season today already 49 yards, 4 catches, and that 25-yard touchdown reception. We have a delay on the field. The officials semi-conferencing. There's a flag at the 40-yard line. It's being picked up right now. Rob Zvonar is questioning it. There's Zvonar, the only coach in Lincoln Way East history. 12th season, all 12 years of Lincoln Way East football, they have always qualified for the playoffs. The only team in Illinois that's never missed. 115 wins and 26 losses. This is a homecoming of sort for Zvonar. He grew up in nearby Monticello. He played high school football for Hud Venerable, and the
There were 2 penalties on the play. Illegal motion on the offense. Ineligible receiver downfield on the offense. Both penalties are declined. Second down.
Finishing the Zvonar story, he played for Coach Hud Venerable, his high school football coach. And of course, Hud Venerable played as a coach, or brought his team as a coach here to University of Illinois when he coached Normal Community. Venerable now is the athletic director at Lincoln Way Central High School, where Zvonar started his coaching career. Of course, Rob's parents down here at the University of Illinois. A short gain there, an interesting decline of the penalties. What do you make of that, Matt?
You know, I think they want to put him in long down and distance situations. You get a free down back. And something real quick there, Dave. What did we see last week? Glenbard West spreads the field. What's the key breaker right there? Inside trap. It's something you pick up of your film study if you're Lincoln Way East. And anytime you see that spread set, key inside. That's where that trap's coming.
Only one touchdown scored in the first quarter. It was that 25-yard pass from Hafner to Marcus. We go to the second. Hilltoppers on top, 7-zip. One touchdown drive for the Hilltoppers from Glenbard West. The difference as we start the second quarter. 3rd down and 7 for the Hilltoppers. Good field position at their own 46. Hafner quickly. And room. And a first down. They get the ball in the hands of Scott Andrews as quickly as they can, and the junior moves the chains to the Lincoln Way East 43.
And that's a key breaker, what we were just talking about. Last time was the inside trap. This time they throw the quick bubble screen. Get the ball to your players in space, especially your playmakers. Allow them to get upfield. Use that open space. Make one cut, move the sticks.
11-yard pass from Hafner to Andrews. Hafner now 6 of 7 for 83 yards and a touchdown. Fresh set of downs for the Hilltoppers. What a sweet cut to get 3 yards. Check on the Glenbard West sidelines with Susanna Collins.
Guys, it has been 29 years since Glenbard West took home the state title. 1983. These kids weren't even born yet, and this town, this whole community is hungry to bring that trophy back to Glen Ellyn.
You know, and Susanna, my partner here, Matt Bowen, attended Glenbard West High School as an all-state player there. And after this play, Matt, I want you to talk about what that 1983 team means, not only to the community, but all the former players. It's 2nd down and 7. Short play up the middle.
There's a sign on Crescent Boulevard when you're coming past Glenbard West High School that lists all the state championships. Whether it's the different sports, cross-country, track, whatever it may be. Up at the top, it says 1983 state champion football. And that was kind of the benchmark. When I was a kid growing up, that's who I wanted to be. I wanted to be like that 83 team. When I was a freshman at West, they still talked about the 83 team. So if you want to get your name up in that sign, it's nice tonight to do it, and you'll be talked about. You'll be the new benchmark of Glen Ellyn.
Well, Chad Hedlund said, you know, in 2009, we finished 2nd, and people don't talk about the 2009 team. They still talk about 1983. Great defense there by Lincoln Way East. There's Kyle Langendorfer, always in the middle of it for the Griffins.
Very good player, very active player, and that's what I saw on tape this week. He has multiple alignments. He can line up on the edge, line up in the middle. Like I said in the pregame show, he can blitz, he can do everything for you.
Again, he's listed at 150 pounds, and he is forced a 4th down and 6. 3-year varsity starter. Glenbard West rushes their punt team on there. Johnson had a short punt earlier. He'll take a short one here. Just punches it. And it will work inside the 20-yard line, down at the 16. 24-yard punt for Johnson, and with that, Lincoln Way East will have a long field to go. When we talk about Glenbard West and the tradition they have, Bill Duchamp, Jim Covert, Matt Bowen, the storied history, they play for all those teams as well.
No, they do, and it's a great history. Talk about Coach Duchamp. I played for Coach Covert. You can mention Coach Baker, Coach Mills, go down the line. Glenbard has a great tradition in Glen Ellyn. It's a great school to play at, and you get to know those guys. I talk about the 91 team. If I see Craig Williams right now, Darren Dunlap, I'm going to still respect those guys because I looked up to them as kids.
And here's a man who played NFL for 7 years, and you're looking up to the 1983 team. Pitch well defended, and that ball's free. Recovered by Joe Marconi at Glenbard West in business. Tommy Fiesel running the option, and here's the pitch. Couldn't handle it, Josh Mihalovich.
That's one thing about option football. We talk about ball security. Whether you're running the veer, whether you're running the read option, little speed option look there, you have to execute the option.
Lincoln Way East will take a timeout. They need to get things settled down. A little bit of trouble early for the Griffins. Down 7-0. Glenbard West, ball inside the 15. First and 10 Hilltoppers from the Lincoln Way East 13-yard line. Motion from Cito. Pitch to Andrews. Andrews nearly is able to stay on his feet. Number 9, Sean Doherty, got a hold of his shoelaces.
And even that quick pitch, it's almost like a zone read. You'll see from the Houston Texans, and they get the ball deep to Andrews. And they're looking, try to let him pick his zone, get up the field.
That was Langendorfer again.
Again, he's all over the field. I told you, I watched the tape on him last week. He is all over the field. Fun player to watch.
Oh, he fought off a block and nearly had a strip. Only a yard pickup for Andrews. To the near side. Inside the 10-yard line. Andrews again the carry. An ankle gimpy the last few weeks, but they will ride him as long as they can.
Interesting call here, Dave. You got a third down situation. You might want to look back to Marcus again. Do we see him removed from the core of the formation? We saw the fade last time. Maybe we see the slant. There's a lot of options down here because you might be in 4-down territory.
Keep an eye on number 83. He'll come to the wide side of the, or the short side of the field to the left. They're looking that way to Marcus. Intercepted in the end zone, and a chance for a return to the 20-yard line. Jarrett Lekas, he'll bring it out to the 40. .5'11" senior Jarrett Lekas with a 39-yard interception return, and Glenbard West is turned away.
I think that's a ball that Hafner's going to want back because they're basically playing cover 2 in the red zone. And then cover 2, that deep half safety's going to play over the top. You got the corner sitting underneath. He's in a jam and sink. It's the same thing we see on Sundays from the Chicago Bears. When that safety reads the quarterback, he just has to overlap in that fade route and make the play.
Lekas stretched it out to make the pick. The return to the 38-yard line. Exchange of turnovers here in the last few moments. There is the swarming defense on Nick Colangelo. This is a defense that you watch them, you say, boy, are they fast. They have a lot of fast people, but Chad Hedlund says, no, we're not really fast. If we run a 4.7, that's a fast kid for us.
Yeah, he did say that when we talked to him earlier in the week, and that's an example of a defense that understands formations, understands alignments, knows the run pass keys, can get to the ball quickly. It's not always about 40 time.
Fiesel misses badly on the throw to the left. As that sidearm sling to it, he was looking for Austin Winkler. Winkler with 143 yards and receptions this year. As you look at Charlie Sweeney, number 9 is Tyler Dayton. He's a linebacker that'll come up and hit you. You see the nickname, the second nickname, if you will, for Glenbard West hitters, right above the numerals on the front side of the Glenbard West jerseys. A 3rd and long. Fiesel had time. Has his man for a first down. Good protection. The completion goes to Winkler.
And that's what happens when you have an athletic, mobile quarterback. When they can extend the play, they can get outside the pocket. That allows receivers to convert route. You find an open hole in the zone like we see right there, you sit it down. You see it all the time with Ben Roethlisberger out in Pittsburgh. Why? Because you can get outside the pocket. Those receivers convert, find holes, sit down, move the sticks.
17 yards to number 17, Austin Winkler. Ball in Glenbard West territory at the 44. And play is held up with a flag thrown on the far side. Tom Feasel headed to Northern Illinois University, the quarterback for Lincoln Way East.
Dead ball penalty. Encroachment on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Down remains 1.
Feasel was the backup quarterback last year to Blake Winkler, who is now at Illinois State University. Feasel, though, played 4 junior varsity games last year, sent that film to some universities, including Northern Illinois. Went to a Northern Illinois camp, just blew the socks off the coaches there, and accepted a scholarship. And he'll accept a sack. Compliments of Dayton. Number 45, Jordan Hassan, providing pressure as well.
See here again the option look. You get up the field, they are really reading their keys right now. They're playing smart football. They're not taking false steps. They're going downhill to the ball. And we always talk about angles. The angles are so crucial when you play the option.
Give credit to the sack to Jordan Hassan, 5'10", 185-pound junior. Second and long, Colangelo. Short side of the field, and nothing there. Number 2 is Joe Marconi, the grandson of former Chicago Bear fullback Joe Marconi. 11-year career in the NFL. Marconi passing away in 1992, and Joe says it's just such a great honor to be named after my grandpa.
And you're going to hear his name a lot tonight because he flies sideline to sideline. He's one of those tough inside players at Glenbard West.
A 3rd down and 15. Feasel has not had much room today, and he's not going to get any there. On the stop, number 11, Grant Greeno. And we have a flag down, and Feasel slow getting up. And this stadium has suddenly gone quiet.
Dead ball penalty. Personal foul. Late hit. Defense.
We'll take a look and see where this 15-yard penalty comes in. Feasel down. Oh, my.
That's going to get called every time. Doesn't matter what level you're playing at, college, pro, NFL. That's a late hit. You just got to know when to pull off.
And the replay shown here on the big board. The fans don't like it. Number 12, Ted Burns. So Feasel will regroup. And the Griffins will spread the field now on 3rd down and 5.
They have a lot more options in their playbook now because of that penalty. You can run anything you want here in 3rd and medium.
Now we will have play held up as our officials will come together. Again, our referee tonight, Peter King. Tom Feasel still taking off the effects. Looks like some of those fellas have some effects as well. Trying to make sure they are.
The previous penalty was a dead ball foul. Thus now it is 4th down.
And then penalty happened after the play was dead, so it will be 4th down and 5.
I would think about, the read option again here. Maybe a 3-step route. You got the bunch down here at the bottom of formation. Combination route, inside slant.
4th down. Oh, that ball's nearly picked off. Marconi read it perfectly. The intended receiver was Justin Corbett. Never came close to getting to Corbett.
It's an interesting call because it's the 4th down situation. I like the bubble screen. I know they have athletes, but you want to try to throw the ball inside in those situations. Run inside breaking routes. They're quicker, easier reads for your quarterback to make.
So once again, the Hilltoppers from Glenbard West will force the ball back into their hands. Their defense holding on downs. 7-0, 5:32 to play in the first half. Andrews around the right side. He'll get about 4.
That's just power football there. They're going to pull the backside guard, kick out with the fullback. That's just downhill football. No tricks there.
That's what Chad Hetlet brought back to Glenbard West. As you mentioned, the hitters, the nickname, longtime nickname here for Glenbard West. Hetlet said it's a perfect marriage for me to come here because I believe in physical football, and these players will buy into it. Let's go downstairs, check in with Matt Rodewald.
Dave, you know that turnover in the end zone proved to be huge for the confidence-wise for the Lincoln Way East secondary. They've been getting beat. They gave up that touchdown. Coaches came off the sideline, wanted to make sure that these kids were doing a little bit of an outside shade, even though that they got beat on those sideline routes. That turnover proved to be big just from a confidence booster standpoint. Let's see if that changes things here as they have a little bit longer of a field here heading back towards the other way.
Okay, thank you very much, Matt Rodewald. Susanna Collins working the sidelines for us tonight. You see the total yardage difference. 103 total yards for Glenbard West. They're looking for a first down here to the outside, and that will be close, but it appears that Andrews will come up just a bit short.
That's a great open field tackle, given the down and distance situation to get Andrews on the ground. Now you make Glenbard West make a pretty tough decision here. What do you want to do?
They'll have the ball right here near midfield. Looks like they're bringing their punting team on as Andrews will be stopped. Good tackle by Mo Al-Masri. Also coming in to help out at the end, number 10, Adam O'Grady. So at the 7-0 lead, the ball near midfield with 3:50 to play in the first half. Punting unit is on. Deep is number 2, Justin Corbett. Richard Johnson put one ball inside the 20 moments ago. Corbett will not get a chance to return. The ball comes back. It'll be about the 25-yard line. And Lakeway East will have 75 yards, 2 timeouts, 3:35 as they look to get on the board here before halftime. Welcome you back to the sidelines of Glenbard West. The alma mater of my partner Matt Bowen went on to the University of Iowa where he was an All-American. And 7 years in the NFL with the Packers, Bills, Redskins. And Matt, right now after this play, need your thoughts on what Lakeway East really needs to get done here because Tom Fiesel's had a tough go of it. He finds his man, Winkler. That's about 10 yards and a first down. But for Fiesel, he's been struggling because he's seen the black jersey. There have been good defensive secondary coverage. What can the Griffins do in the last 3.5 minutes?
Well, you want to put a drive together that produces points. Obviously, you have to slow down that pass rush. Maybe some screen, maybe some draw. We saw the wide receiver screen, but some inside screens. You can run a middle screen, coming back from the outside, the wide receiver. Something to slow down that pass rush because he doesn't have enough time.
First down at the 39. Fiesel will create till about the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 6.
One thing you have to remember, if you're a defensive back for Glenbard West in this situation, keep the ball in front of you. Don't give up a deep ball here, especially when the quarterback breaks contained. Your job is to make them throw it in front of you, go up and make a tackle.
Fiesel's averaged 9.3 yards per carry on the season. Today, held to -2 in the 9 times he's carried the ball. Play clock running down to 4 to 3. They get the snap off. And again, a hand on the ball. Reuben Dunbar. Preseason All-Stater, 6'3", 255-pounder.
Tell you what, he came to play tonight. And this is something for every defensive lineman out there. If you can't get there, get your hands up, especially in a 3-step game. You know you're not going to get home to the cornerback. Time it up, knock it down.
Dunbar drawing a lot of attention from the colleges as Una will put pressure on Fiesel on the run. It will be 4th down.
And Glenbard West had a free rusher off the edge that I tried to get that outside seam route outside of the numbers. It's a good play call in the down and distance situation, but that free rusher forced quarterback outside the pocket. That limits what he can do.
Punting team to come on for Lincoln Way East. There was a little bit of hesitation on 4th down and 4 from the 45.
That's another big stop for Glenbard West. He has to be impressed with his defense so far because we've watched the highlights. I watched the film of Fiesel last week. He can make a lot of plays with his feet. He can get wide receivers involved. And right now, that defensive front for Glenbard West is the difference in this football game.
Lincoln Way East averaging 278 yards rushing per game this season. Here in the first half, they have rushed for a net of 15. Lincoln East will take a delay of game penalty here. West with 3 timeouts remaining, East with 2. As long as we're talking directions, our 8A game will feature North, Glenbard North. They'll be taking on Mount Carmel following this one. Rob's Vonar won state championship. It came in 2005, the only other trip the Griffins have made here. 12 years, 12 playoff appearances. Fiesel, an opportunity to run. Fiesel stumbles, and he'll be short of the first down. Well, he was 12 yards back in punt formation. He needed 4 yards for a first down.
Nothing wrong with, taking a chance, but now what happens, Dave? Now you get Glenbard West the ball in plus territory. You mentioned the timeouts. There's still 2.5 minutes left. You can run your offense still. You can run your offense, put a drive together, then take your shot to the end zone.
What a crucial final, 2:26. That delay of game penalty really hurt the Griffins there, took away 5 yards. If that indeed was what they were going to do. So actually they needed 9 yards for the first down after that penalty. Hafner, play action, looking for it. He's got it, what a catch by Andrews. Great throw, great catch.
We saw that play earlier. They came back to the same play. It's those 3 verticals again.
On a 23-degree wind chill night, Scott Andrews, a fingertip grab.
That's a great ball. Great ball placement, too. Upfield shoulder again, away from the defender. You put it out in front, let your player go get it, get down the field.
30 yards and a first down to the 13-yard line. The ground to Andrews. Near the 10.
And that's what we just talked about. Now you go back to running your offense. You took the shot to get down the field, set up field position. Now you look at the clock. You got time. You got the timeouts. Go back to the power game. No panic. There should be no panic, Dave. You have a lot of time to work.
This is a team that does not panic. They just are very relaxed. Chad Hedlund says they just are a very confident bunch. Why not? Their seniors have only lost 1 game in their high school career. Tony with the fumble. Tony on top of it. It'll be 3rd down. A little bit of a collision here. It was tight going inside. We'll take a look at it.
Now again, they try to run that inside trap. If you're Lincoln Way, you have to understand every time that Devontae Tony is in the dot. What the dot means is you're directly behind the quarterback. You have to be alert for that inside trap. That's what they like to do.
The ball came down on the ground. Tony came on top of it. A break for Glenbard West. They may take a timeout here, letting the play clock wind down. They'll take it with 57 seconds to play. The ball at the 10-yard line, 3rd down and 7. We'll go downstairs and check in with Matt Rodewald.
All right, Dave, well, coming up at halftime, we're going to have conversations with both head coaches, Lincoln Way East, Rob Savonar, and, of course, Glenbard West, Chad Hedlund. We'll talk about all the stats and the highlights, everything coming up at halftime. Glenbard West an opportunity to get in the end zone, maybe add to their lead here. But, of course, Tom Fiesel trying to just take a break and not get smacked around like he has been. He has been staying on the sidelines, on the bike, moving those legs pretty much since the start of this game. And, of course, Matt, you got to stay warm in this cold weather.
No, you do. I played in a lot of games, especially up in Green Bay, and it's not so much the contact. It's can you get your body ready when you're out for a series? Can you come back in? If you're a defensive back, you're playing with tight hamstrings. You're not going to be able to open up and go get the football. If you're a quarterback in this type of spread offense, you got to constantly keep warm. So when you come on the field, you can do your job.
You were talking earlier, you mentioned Michael Vick. You played at safety against him, had to defend against Michael Vick. Fiesel, of course, not in the same name area as Vick, but the same type of player at his level. What did you have to do with Michael Vick that Glenbard West has been able to do tonight?
Well, one thing is open field tackling. You have to tackle. You can't duck your head. You got to have good tackling technique, wrap the arms, get him on the ground. But you have to contain him. The one thing I've seen on tape with Fiesel is his ability to make plays out of nothing. Play breaks down. He reverses field. And one thing, Dave, he always keeps his eyes down the field. And that's crucial when you're a quarterback because your wide receivers will eventually get open. It's tough as a DB to cover for 10, 15 seconds. You're not going to make a play.
Big 3rd down here in the final 60 seconds of the first half. Empty backfield for Hafner, and he was looking around. Something was not right.
Glenbard West.
They
For
take
second
another
timeout.
one. Well, they just spent 60 seconds getting it set. Hafner showed up behind center and nobody was around. Take a look at what's happening here today, what happened yesterday, what's coming up at 7 o'clock, our 8A state championship ball game, Glenbard North, Mount Carmel. Those two teams met in 2007 in the semifinals when Mount Carmel was undefeated. Glenbard North that year had lost 4 games. However, it was Glenbard North, the Panthers, with the 28-21 win, denying Mount Carmel a trip to the finals. Glenbard North eventually finishing second in the state. So that'll be our 7 o'clock game. Congratulations earlier today. Montini, their 4th straight state championship. Crete Monee brings home their first. Glenbard West looking for their second, as is Lincoln Way East. But back to the play we just had, or the not play, Matt, the back-to-back timeouts, very unusual.
Yeah, we're kind of having a little chess match here. You bring out something that's almost like in basketball. You see, you bring out, they're showing a 2-3 zone, you call timeout, get something set up for a 2-3 zone. But in football, maybe Coach Ellyn didn't like the alignment. Let's see what they do here.
Now Joe Zito stands right behind Hafner. Hafner through the end zone. 4th down.
One thing to keep an eye on is they're really slanting that deep half safety all the way over to this side over Marcus. That middle of the field is open, and that's where Hafner tried to go. As you can see, there's no one back there in the middle of the field, Dave. You want to throw it inside seam route right there. If you can beat that man, beat his leverage, give the quarterback a target, that's 6 points. Something to keep an eye on if they keep slanting that safety.
Lincoln Way East, after having a fake punt stopped, Glenbard West a 30-yard pass to get them into this field position. Lincoln Way East will be happy if they can get away with giving up just 3. Lacage on to look for those points. Lacage, who had a game-winning field goal, the only points in a quarterfinal win over Wheaton North, knocks that one home, and with 49 seconds to play here in the half, a 10-0 Glenbard West lead. But when you talk about 3 points, it's 3 for Glenbard West, but really in this situation, almost a win for Lincoln Way East.
True, but it also puts Glenbard up with 2 scores, and points going to be hard to come by tonight. It's cold temperatures. We're seeing both defenses that are tackling well. Fisa's not able to get outside the pocket and make plays as of yet. So anytime you can get points, Dave, yes, it's a win for Lincoln Way East to keep them out of the end zone, but it's still 3 more points for West, gives them a 2-score lead.
We talk about many times turnovers, teams capitalizing on turnovers into scores. What the Glenbard West offense did was both times their defense gave them the ball after turning over East on downs. They took it in for a touchdown and now a field goal.
Yeah, got to take advantage of the scoring opportunity, especially field position.
See how the Hilltoppers elect to play this kickoff. East with 2 timeouts remaining.
That's interesting, Dave. If you're Lincoln Way East and you get field position here, what do you do with the football? You're down 10 points. You haven't been able to put many drives together. You're not executing on offense. You take it to the halftime, or you say, look, it's a state championship game. Let's be aggressive. Let's try to get something on the board.
Well, normally I would say you try to get something on the board, but they might be spooked a little by that fake punt that was turned away. Rob Zvonar, his team with no points on the board here. Glenbard West on the season, giving up only an average of 8.4 a game. About the 3rd hop. You hear the pads cracking as Al-Masri will bring it to the 25 after a return of 14 yards.
And that coverage team looks like the defensive front right now. They're all flying to the football. And that's one thing, whether you're covering kicks, you're playing in the secondary, you're playing in the front 7, you want to get multiple hats to the ball. What does that mean? 4 or 5 guys in the football carry. Look at that right there. He's not going anywhere. And it reminds him, hey, every time you carry the ball against us, we're going to swarm to you.
44 seconds left. Lincoln Way East with just 47 yards of offense here in the first half. A little bit of confusion in the backfield between Fiesel and Colangelo, and that's a short gain.
You know, an inside draw. One thing as a defensive player, first play of a 2-minute drill is usually screen or draw. That's how you always play for it. That's what we saw right there, the inside draw. Try to get something if you're Lincoln Way East, and then you can run your offense. Without much production, though, you look at the clock ticking away.
Griffins with no sense of urgency here with the clock going down to 15 seconds. But play clock actually stopped at 25. Not sure why that is. Fiesel, this should be the final play of the half. And it will be a loss on the play. And that final play is in measure and indicative of what the first half has been for Tom Fiesel. And he's down once again. This would be bad news for Lincoln Way East.
No, you never want to see this either. You want to see him get up, come back and play that second half.
Glenbard West will leave, and we'll take a look back. Tom Fiesel holding his right leg.
You can't really see anything right there, Dave, unless he came down on it somehow.
The tackle was by Tyler Dayton. Fiesel has been hit. In fact, that is what Chad Hetlett said. Priority number 2 tonight was to hit Fiesel. Let's check in with Chad Hetlett and Susanna Collins.
All right, Coach. Talk about this defensive performance of your team. You are not letting Tommy Fiesel get away with anything. How pleased are you with your defensive performance today?
We're excited about how our defense is playing right now. They're containing them. We're getting good shots in on him. We're covering the pass. He's made a couple of plays, but like I said, he's probably the best player in the state of Illinois. So, I mean, you got to keep playing for 4 quarters and keep getting after him and chasing him and making sure that he stays in front of you. But I like where we're playing defensively right now.
How important was it for you guys to get some points on the board before that fake punt, after that fake punt?
I think it was very important. I mean, we had a drive down there where we threw an interception. Our offense is doing a good job of moving the ball. You know, we gotta get some points up on the board.
All right, have a good second half, Coach. Dave, send it back to you.
Thank you very much, Susanna. As we take a look, Tom Fiesel walking off slowly off the field. He's been hit hard a couple of times. He's been contained all night. And with that, Glenbard West pitching a shutout at the half.
Toppers at the half, and of course Lincoln Way East struggle to get their offense going just yet. Take a look at the schedule. We have one more game to go. We've had a great day so far of football here in Champaign at Memorial Stadium. Montini winning the state championship in Class 5A. Crete Monee hanging on to get a win over Cary Grove and Glenbard West right now with the lead. Glenbard North and Mount Carmel coming up for your 8A title coming up tonight. Now, right at the end of the half, if you were with us, we'll show this to you again. This is Tommy Fiesel trying to scramble, and he got banged up right there as he reaches for his right knee, trying to scramble out and avoid any sort of major turnover towards the end of the half, and hit right there by number 9, Tyler Dayton, the linebacker. It took him 3 minutes or so to walk off. He did get up in his own power, favoring the knee a little bit, telling Rob Savoner, I'm okay, but you can see how slow he took to walk off the field. It took him about 3 or 4 minutes to do that, and he's on the south end of the field. We'll keep an eye and have an update for you in the meantime. Let's send it upstairs and say hi to Dave Bernhardt and Matt Bowen. Guys?
Okay, thank you very much, and we will stay tuned for that injury update to Tom Fiesel, because as great a player as he is, Glenbard West's defense has been better. A loss of Fiesel, of course, would have a huge impact. But let's look back at those first 24 minutes. Chad Hetlett said our number 1 goal is to contain Fiesel. Our number 2 goal is to hit him. Mission accomplished so far.
And they've done that throughout the entire night. You see Fiesel can't get outside the pocket. Even in their read option game, they can't get to the edge of the defense. Their corners are doing a great job setting the edge, and they're getting multiple guys to the ball carrier. It's been fun to watch.
Okay, and so if you're the Lincoln Way East offense, what can you do differently given how West has approached it on the defensive side?
Well, you don't have much time. You're not going to change your playbook in one halftime setting. Just run your offense. Try to get an explosive play, though. You need a big play here to start the second half.
Speaking of big plays, Henry Hafner came up big on that touchdown drive, completed 4 passes on the drive. He has been the difference in this ball game. He's had the help from Andrews, Zito, and Marcus, but the way he has been able to lay the ball in there has put a whole new dimension on this one.
Ball placement. You're always talking with coaches. They say put it on that upfield shoulder. Why? It puts it away from the defensive back. That allows your guys to go make a play. He's not just a game manager, okay? Let's get that correct right now. Don't forget about this quarterback. Hafner's having a great game.
This is the 7th game out of 8 here near state title coverage here on Comcast Sportsnet. When we come back, we're going to take a look at some of the great plays and great players that we've been a part of this weekend. 10-0 at the half here in your 7A championship ball game. Glenbard West, a touchdown pass and a field goal. This is what has happened so far this weekend. State champs, Maroa Forsyth, Mercer County, Aurora Christian, and Rochester yesterday. Montini wins it. Today it was Crete-Monee picking up the 7-point win in your 6A game. Of course, we're at the half here in 7A. We've had great players in these championship ball games. First of all, for Maroa Forsyth, just a sophomore, Hockaday will take it in. 1 of 5 touchdowns on the day for the sophomore. Jack Hockaday will bring it this way. This is a crazy game, a ball game that Maroa Forsyth led by 20. They trailed by 4. They ended up winning by over 20. Hockaday just keeps on coming, and opponents going to get used to seeing this for the next couple of years.
Looks like Tebow out there.
Forsyth will take Tebow in their backfield for the next couple of years. Then in Class 2A, crazy play in this one. Mercer County wins this ball game. Watch the fumble. Was he down?
Ooh.
Ball out, return, everybody hesitates, 95 yards for the score.
Well, that's why as a defensive player you always play to the whistle, okay? Even if you play through the whistle, pick up the ball's in the ground, so Lovey Smith teaches his guys, pick it up, go to the end zone, let the refs make the decision for you.
And with that, Mercer County wins the state title in Class 2A. In 3A, it was a tight one between Unity and Aurora Central Catholic, but then Joel Boignet is headed to Northern Illinois University, breaks this one for 60 yards, and Aurora Christian, the Eagles, pick up their second consecutive state championship. Boignet gets another one here on a shorter touchdown run. They end up putting it away and winning it big, scoring 42 unanswered points. That was a repeat. In Class 4A, it was a three-peat. Rochester quarterback Austin Green, he's headed to Eastern Illinois University. He got things going early. This was a first touchdown pass, but Green can do it with his legs as well. Much like Tommy Fiesel, he's able to motor this one in for the score. Rochester behind Green ends up going back to back in their win over Rock Island Alleman. And that was our action from Friday. If you're with us beginning at 10 o'clock this morning, Montini looking to go for the 4-peat. That's right, we try to go 2-3-4. Dimitri Taylor, he gets it started early. Look at that great move by Taylor. He'll cross midfield, he'll take the rest of the way, and Montini becomes your 5A state champs.
That's a great play there in the open field, that little jump cut to get outside, break a tackle, and get down the field.
Protection time, Taylor, the hands, the block, and the score. Montini winners over Morris in 5A. In 6A, it was maybe the #1 player in the state, one of the top players in the country, Laquan Treadwell for Crete-Monee.
I was watching him out down in the tunnel today, Dave, and he reminds me of Julio Jones. We talk about the upper and lower body strength together. Impressive football player. He's going to be great at the next level, and this is the guy you can see on Sundays, let's be honest.
Laquan Treadwell, he runs, he catches passes, and oh, by the way, you need him to intercept a pass? There he is.
That's what you want in the state championship games. Get your best players in the field, let them go to work.
And the best players won their first 6 games. We are in Class 7A. It is Glenbard West on top of Lincoln Way East. We've got highlights of the first half coming up, an injury update as well. 10-0, Hilltoppers over the Griffins. Crowd just kind of settling back right now. There's a lot of black here tonight between Glenbard West and Lincoln Way East. 10-0 lead for the Hilltoppers. We return upstairs here where it's a little bit warmer than downstairs. Dave Bernhardt along with Matt Bowen. I think everybody here holding their breath on the condition of Tommy Fiesel. But when you look at the second half here, Glenbard West with a 10-0 lead. They're the type of team that they don't give up big points. One more score by the Hilltoppers, that could be curtains for the Griffins.
Right, and you think about the Glenbard West offense, the style of it. You could see a lot of power football this half. Control the clock, control the tempo, try to grind this game out and let their defense go to work.
We didn't think we'd see too many points here in the first half, and indeed we have not. 2 great defenses, only giving up about 8, 9, 10 points per ball game. We'll take a look at our first half highlights. The first one, the big one, the only touchdown in the first half. Henry Hafner finds Nathan Marcus.
And that's man-to-man coverage. When you have man-to-man coverage, you try to explode it with the deep routes. That's a fade route, bucket throw over the outside shoulder. Let your Division I player go make a big-time play for you in the end zone.
That was a 7-0 lead late in the first quarter. Big turnover here at the time by Lincoln Way East.
Option football, you got to take care of the ball. But look how many dark jerseys are around the ball. Even though it wasn't a tackle, there's a lot of dark jerseys there.
However, on the ensuing possession, the turnover goes the other way. Jarrett Leakus with this pick of a Hafner pass.
Nice job by Leakus sliding over from the deep half. They're playing cover 2 there. They had an underneath defender against Marcus, the deep half safety. They make a nice play in the red zone, get the ball out.
Here's your Comcast Business Class first half statistics. You see the 10-0 lead. However, look at the yardage numbers. A total difference of almost 100 yards. Lincoln Way East on the season comes in averaging 362 yards of offense. Matt, held to just 44.
Yeah, those are great defensive numbers right there. You have to be impressed with that.
So Glenbard West doing a job on the defensive side. They've done enough offensively. They'll look to get things going here in the second half. Now we've got Mount Carmel coming up against Glenbard North. You know, we talk about tradition. Of course, the Glenbard schools will support each other, but great tradition all around. You talked about a little bit earlier in terms of what happens at Glenbard West.
No, there is. And with Glenbard West, great tradition. You talk about the nickname, the hitters.
Yep.
When I was a sophomore quarterback, Coach Salerno said, okay, it's time to hit the sled. And I looked around, oh, I don't hit the sled, I'm a quarterback. So get your hand on the ground, you're hitting the sled. I hit the sled every day as a sophomore quarterback at Glenbard West. Had a lot to do with my career. I wasn't just a quarterback, I was a football player, right?
And they have been hitting here tonight. Very physical ball game here tonight. Speaking of that, we'll have an injury update on Tom Fiesel when we come back. Just about set for third quarter play. Stay right there.
It's a 10-0 deficit for Lincoln Way East. The Griffins have some work to do. The first thing I got to ask you, Coach, is about the status of Tommy Fiesel and his right knee.
Oh, he's good to go. Just tweaked a little sprain. He's fine. He's going to go the second half.
What have you talked about the half as far as adjusting to what Glenbard West has been doing offensively?
Well, they do everything well, and we know they were who we thought they were, a great football team. We've got to execute a little bit better, make some better decisions, and take away a few big plays that they had success with.
Is there anything as far as the things that you're doing offensively that you like and you want to see continue?
Well, yeah, we're inconsistent, though. We got to be more consistent, sustain some drives, like I said, make some better decisions, and get back in this game.
Okay, Coach, good luck.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Head Coach Rob Zavoner, just a note for you guys, Jordan Wirtz is the backup quarterback. He actually got in last week in the blowout against Bennett, guys.
All right, thank you very much, man. You know, Tom Fiesel having a tough game already. 2 of 9, throwing the ball 29 yards, rushed 11 times for -4. We've got more football coming up here following this ball game. They are in their locker rooms right now. Glenbard North and Mount Carmel, they will battle for the 8A state championship. That'll follow this one immediately. Already today, Montini and Crete-Monee have picked up those big trophies. Glenbard West will look to hoist their second, as would Lincoln Way East. They've been here before. Lincoln Way East has won the only other time a double overtime win. Glenbard West under Chad Hetland in 2009. It was a double overtime loss to Wheaton Warrenville South. We've got an entire second half of football to play here in your 7A game. A 10-0 lead for the Hilltoppers on top of the Griffins. As we look down onto the sidelines of Lincoln Way East, and Rob Zavoner, Matt, sounded very confident about his starting quarterback, Tom Fiesel. However, you see warming up down there some other players that may need to see some action.
Yeah, you have to see how he responds. He says it's just a knee sprain. A knee sprain can be a lot of things. You have to see how he moves. See, that's what he brings to the game. I talked earlier, most linear athletes, straight line guys, don't have the balance that he does with his feet. He can make so many different cuts, break you down in the open field. If he can't do that, it'll be interesting to see what they want to do from an offensive perspective.
Lincoln Way East won the toss prior to the game. They deferred until the second half. They will take the ball. Again, the weather conditions here tonight, nothing like we had 24 hours ago when it was bitterly cold and windy. The wind not really a factor tonight. We still have wind chills of under 30 degrees. You can see the folks that have bundled up here and made the trip down to Champaign. And speaking of Champaign, this will be the final year for a couple of years that we will be here at Memorial Stadium. Next year, of course, the state football championships will move to DeKalb and Northern Illinois University, alternating years between U of I and Northern Illinois. So the folks here at Champaign have been so kind and gracious to us throughout the years. The weather, they couldn't do much about that. A 23-degree wind chill with slight winds. We'll see what Northern brings next year. But what's very important is what happens here in the first 5 minutes of this third quarter.
Yeah, good Lincoln Way, you want to put a good drive together here. That's the biggest thing. It doesn't have to necessarily produce points, but it has to produce field position. What I mean by that, you got to get the ball into plus territory here. And if you're Glenbard West, same defense. Same thing you've been doing all day, Dave. Swarm to the football.
Get a look at kicker Hayden Lakash. He has a field goal to his credit of 27 yards. He will kick it off. Marcus Crosby deep for the Griffins, and he'll have a chance for a return. Not much of one, though. Look at the coverage by the Hilltoppers.
And that's that backside pursuit. I played on special teams for 7 years in the NFL. If you can defeat those front line blocks, you take a beeline for that ball carrier and put a helmet on him.
You're watching Crosby. What you're not seeing is those three flying down the field all the way. This is a special teams unit under head coach John Schweigert. See number 8, Hayden Carlson. He's one of the lucky starters that gets to be on these special teams.
Yeah, and special teams is an extension of defense. That's all it is. You mostly see defensive players on there because of the tackling ability.
Only a 6-yard return. Lincoln Way East starts inside their own 10, and they'll run it up the middle to Justin Corbett, one of the bigger gains tonight for the Griffins, and it comes on first down, and it starts our third quarter with a 13-yard pickup.
Maybe Corbett can give him a spark. We didn't see him much in the first half. Obviously, Lincoln Way struggled in the first half. There's that inside read again. Read that defensive end. They stay up the field. You give it inside.
Corbett didn't get touched in the first 10 yards of that run. The ball now out to the 22. About 3 yards for Corbett again. Corbett is 6'2", 205-pound senior. And Joe Marconi comes up a little bit gimpy. Marconi wants to stay in. Looks like he will. However, that doesn't look too good.
No, it doesn't. It looks like he's limping pretty tough right there.
Well, now he's coming out. Marconi was interesting. I don't know if that was where he was designed to line up defensively, but he was running away from his bench. He did not want to leave. That's a big loss if he's out for any length of time. We'll check in on Marconi's condition. Coming the other way, Corbett again. It'll be about 1.5 yards short of the first down.
But I like this. They're running their offense. Okay, it's 10-0. And there's 2 quarters of football left. There's no time to panic and say, okay, we got to do something completely different. Yes, the quarterback's a little banged up. Doesn't mean you still run your offense. Still run your offense and do what got you here. You won 13 games. Do what got you here.
You could hear that confidence in Rob Svonar's voice. The halftime interview with Matt Rodewald. Beasel on the spin. Let's see the spot. Would be close to that first down. This will be close. Eyeballing it, first down.
That's a good start. That's what you wanted coming out of the halftime. You wanted to come out, put a drive together. You got the first down. I'll just keep rolling, keep running your offense.
Again, Tom Fiesel in the first half, 12 carries, or 11 carries in the first half, minus 4 yards, 2 of 9, throwing the ball for 29 yards. Another big hole up the middle. This time it's Colangelo, the beneficiary. Let's go down to the Glenbard West sidelines and Susanna Collins.
Yeah, Marconi tweaked that right ankle. He's getting it all taped up now, but he said he's fine. There is absolutely no way he is missing this game, so he'll be going back in there.
Yeah, I kind of sensed that there was no way that was going to happen. Thanks, Susanna, and look at that tape getting on there. There'll be plenty. Second down and 3.
Tough thing for him to be able to keep it heated up throughout this cold night.
Fiesel will keep it, somewhat limps his way close to the first down.
And it's something about cold weather. If you're nursing an injury or you sprain an ankle, hurt a shoulder, it's tough to stay warm. How do you keep the injury warm? How do you keep it going? They got those heaters on the sideline. That's something to do a little bit, but you got to keep active.
There's Fiesel's passing numbers. He has not thrown the ball in the second half. Opening possession of the third quarter. And a loss on the play of 1 yard. It will be 4th down and about 2 yards to go for a first down from the Lincoln Way East 40-yard line.
That's a big stop for Glenbard West and a big decision here. What do you want to do? 4th and 2, you're down 10. It's a state championship game. You've been struggling all night. You're starting to put some momentum together. It looks like they're going to go for it there.
Well, it didn't work so well in a fake punt earlier. What a key moment here, the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. I remember Fiesel is also the punter. His family, by the way, brought 50 people to this game. Why not? Playing for a state championship. And this is an important decision right now for Lincoln Way East, and they will use one of their 3 second-half timeouts.
All right, 4th and 2 situation. What do you want to do? It's probably going to be another option look. That's what we've been seeing throughout this beginning of the second half. We saw through the first half is that option read. If I'm Tommy Fiesel, though, 4th and 2 state championship, I want my hands on the football. I'm going to keep this football.
Okay. Not nervous about the 4th down and 2. I'll get back to you on that one. Let's go in downstairs to Matt Rodewald.
Continuing to monitor Fiesel, he's clearly favoring that right knee. Can't really straighten it out. If you watch him on the option read, he kind of sprints backwards to make sure he avoids contact. You saw that one run where he really tested it, got up, grimaced a little bit, tried to straighten his pads out. It looks like he has a brace on underneath of some kind, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. And now that, I guess, begs my question again. If your quarterback is gimpy like that, a 4th and 2 from your own 40, are you giving the ball up, or are you going to go for it right here?
Well, it looks like
they've changed their mind.
So
now Fiesel, the punter, his right knee is the one that's bothering him, and that's the leg he's going to be used punting the ball. But he's not. And he may be short of the first down. I don't think he got it.
I don't either. It all depends on the spot right now.
There was no hesitation on that one. And there is no hesitation on the officials. They may need to measure. I thought they were just going to turn the other way. Well, you know, I'm looking at that spot now. This is closer than I thought.
It just turns out to be a quarterback power, quarterback lead with the center leading up the field. That's all it was. It looks different because it's from a punt formation, but it's get the ball to your playmaker, see if you can pick up the first down and move the sticks.
And he did not get it by that much. The second time tonight that Lincoln Way East has gone for it from punt formation on 4th down. Tom Fiesel, who was looking to punt, but now of greater concern is that right leg when he comes back on offense, if he does.
That's a great. It was interesting, though, Dave, that they didn't run their offense. They went with the fake again instead of 4th and 2. It's an interesting decision. Now Glenbard West has field position once again.
They'll start this drive, their first of the second half, at the East 42-yard line. And here come the flags. A problem on the exchange. Everybody pulling out a little bit early. An interesting last few minutes here.
Dead ball, snap infraction on the offense, 5-yard penalty, down remains 1.
There's Fiesel.
Because they try to keep it warm with the stationary bike. That's all you can really do. I mean, given the elements, given the situation, just keep active on the sideline and then hope that adrenaline takes over when you're on the field and try to fight through the pain, which I expect he will do.
Still good field position here now for the Hilltoppers, despite that 5-yard penalty. Andrews to the right side. Early on, the Lincoln Way East defense in the first possession really denied Scott Andrews. Andrews had a little bit more room. They've gotten Andrews the ball. Now you see Andrews a little bit of a limp with the ankle.
They played a lot of football. Think about it. They played a lot of football games this year. These guys are tired. They're sore. This is not the same team it was back in August. The same in the NFL when you talk about December football. Guys are tired and sore. Who can fight through the pain and make it through the rest of the season?
They fake the pitch to Andrews. Zito comes the other way. It will be 3rd down at about 11.
This is a big call for them there, depending on what they want to do on 4th down. There's an opportunity to throw an inside breaking route, set up 4th and medium, opportunity to run the football. A lot of options here if you're going to go for it on 4th down. But given the field position, you moved inside the 40-yard line. That tells me, you know, you're not going to bring the special teams out in that situation. So this is a big play for Glenbard West.
On their lone touchdown drive tonight, the Hilltoppers converted a couple of 3rd down and longs prior to the 25-yard touchdown pass from Hafner to Marcus. Hafner being chased. That's short of the first down. Good throw, good catch by Marcus. You put it in his vicinity, he's going to come down with it.
Yeah, and it is short of the first down, but then it leads to what we were just talking about. What do they want to do on fourth down? You run the little comeback, get the quarterback outside the pocket on the boot action, throw it to the big target outside the numbers, but now what do you want to do? And I think you have some options here even.
They will need 5 yards after the catch by Marcus. That is his 5th reception of the night. Well, here comes the special teams on.
What that tells me is that Coach Ellyn has so much confidence in his defense right now, and I can't blame him. If you got a quarterback that's banged up on the other side, your defense is flying to the football, they're going to play a field position game.
Richard Johnson. Nicely done. Comes back on him. It'll be the second time tonight that Johnson has put the ball inside the 20-yard line. When we come back, does Fiesel come back out? How healthy is he? Lincoln Way East trailing by 10. Tom Fiesel, called by Montini head coach the best running quarterback he's ever seen in 34 years as a head coach. However, he has been bounced around tonight.
Yeah, and that defense from Glenbard West is getting after. We knew they're going to run the read option. They're going to run the zone read, the speed option. And Glenbard West has been setting the edge of the defense. This is the big stuff, though, right here. Because you go back to the tape against Bennett from last week, he was making plays, reversing his field, finding receivers open down the field. Glenbard West is not letting him do that. They're containing him in the pocket, and as I told you before the show, that's what pro teams do against the guys like a Tim Tebow or Michael Vick.
Hitting the head, and now an injured right knee. He will hand it off, and another big gain here for Colangelo. That's been effective here. The first 2 possessions the Griffins have had here in this half.
The second half, they've been able to test the inside, the interior of the defensive line. And that's that same read scheme we're seeing, but they're handing the ball off inside, getting some production.
9 yards on first down for Nick Colangelo. He, along with Fiesel, the only 2 1,000-yard rushers in Lincoln Way East history in a single season. That should be enough for a first down. The tackle is made by Grant Greeno. Greeno, 6'2", 195-pound junior linebacker. And it's first down for East.
Where do their explosive plays come from, Dave? That's the question now. Where do they get an explosive play? Because if Fiesel can't move, if he can't get outside the pocket, does he turn into a thrower? Do they take some shots on the field? Let's find out.
Corbett. He took a look, and all he saw were black jerseys with the word hitters written on them.
Looks like they got tired of that little inside trap there the last couple of plays. It's okay. You guys want to run the ball inside, we're not going to allow that anymore. Go somewhere else with the ball. Now you can see guys all over the gap. They had outside contain. There's nowhere to go with that football, Dave.
This is what Corbett sees. Jordan Hassan, number 45, trying to rip that ball away. No gain, second down and 10. Fiesel keeps. Oh, he was able to fight forward for an extra 2 or 3 yards. That was impressive right there.
No, and you love the effort. I know he's banged up. I know he's hurting, but he's still trying. He's still trying to, fight for extra yards. You love that, especially in a senior quarterback. That's what you want to see. If you're on that football team right now, or if you're a younger player in that program, a freshman or sophomore, this is what you want. This is what you look up to.
And a big third down. 3rd and a long 3. Fiesel steps up to take the snap. Gives it to Colangelo. He will be short by about a yard. It will be 4th down. Let's see where they put the ball down. They'll put it down right at the 35. He needs to get to about the 35 and a 3rd yard line. This is really close. You've got to believe they're going to go for it here and just power it in. Down 10-0, 4:45 clock running in the 3rd quarter.
I would expect to see the same inside read right here. Looks like they're taking their time now.
Play clock's down to 10. They haven't got the play, and Adam McGrady has come in on the offensive side. Play clock's at 5. They've got to hurry. Fiesel. He has the first down. He took a shot, but he has the first down.
That is the same scheme I saw all last year when Denver had Tim Tebow quarterback. Basically power O. And for people out there, what power O is, you kick out, you pull the backside guard, and you lead up with the quarterback. It's the same blocking scheme. You get an extra blocker, though, because it's the quarterback. It is true downhill power football. It's a great call in that situation.
Wiesel takes a stick. Looks like that was by Hayden Carlson. He will feel it every which way tonight. And once again, Ruben Dunbar in the middle of it, number 10 for Glenbard West. Be a very short gain. Gain of a couple. The Colangelo, the carry. Colangelo, 5th grade. He was part of this senior class who was in 5th grade when Lincoln Way East won the state championship. A lot of those 5th graders came down here, however, poor Nick was sick. He didn't get to watch the championship game in person. He watched Lincoln Way East defeat Maine South 30-24 in double overtime. Wiesel, first pass to the second half, wide open left side. Inside the 40-yard line. Corbett with the reception, it goes for 23 yards.
That's a double stack, look, 4 verticals, and 4 verticals are 4 go routes down the field. They spread you out and put the pressure on the top of the defense. It's a great look at the line of scrimmage, and look, you have 1 defensive back to beat, you split him with the 2 verticals, make him decide, quarterback reads it, looks him off, nice throw, nice execution.
Lincoln Way East offense has moved the ball here in the 3rd quarter. Colangelo slices through, get about 5 yards, maybe 4 as they spot the ball down at the 35.
There was that big play we were talking about, how they get an explosive game because Wiesel is banged up, because he can't test the edge anymore. Where does that explosive play come from? Came from the passing game. Let's see if they can finish this drive.
It was only the 3rd completion by Wiesel in 10 attempts here tonight. They'll stay in the ground. Good hesitation by Corbett. He's at the 10, the cut at the 5. That's a touchdown. 35 yards. It was slow developing, but Lincoln Way East has hit the scoreboard. Justin Corbett, his 3rd touchdown reception, to make that his 8th rushing touchdown of the year.
It's a sweep, and look, they got the block on the edge. That's the one thing Glenbard West has done so well tonight, is they've been able to set the edge, defeat the outside blocks, and turn everything back up inside. That time they get the stalk block. That's a wide receiver block down the field. Corbett's able to get outside, make a move down the field, put it in the end zone.
Extra point attempt coming up. Anthony Scarini misses it. Huge miss by Scarini. It's a 4-point difference. 2:47 to play in the 3rd. However, Justin Corbett puts 6 on the board, and we have a ball game in your 7A championship matchup in Champaign. A 10-6 lead for Glenbard West. Justin Corbett, number 2, just scoring that last touchdown. Our first touchdown is our Vivo Harris making it happen play of the game to this point. It came early in his ball game. Nathan Marcus on the receiving end of this 25-yard touchdown pass from Henry Hafner. That's your Vivo Harris making it happen play of the game. I have a feeling we'll have some candidates coming up here in the final 14 minutes.
A lot of football left to be played. That was a big, big drive for Lincoln Way East to get back in this game, get some momentum. Let's see how they play defensively now.
Scarini to kick off. Keep it short. They'll get the coverage. And on the kickoff coverage team, there's number 3 once again. That's Kyle Langendorfer.
He does it all. We've been saying it since the top of the show. He covers kicks, he plays linebacker, he can blitz, he can drop in the zone coverage, he can do anything you ask of him.
Nathan Marcus, his touchdown reception, part of his 55 yards. Now big moment here in the final couple of minutes in the 3rd quarter. Lincoln Way East offense responded. What does their defense do here? Empty backfield for Hafner. Out of the backfield is Zito. Oh my. Anthony Zito wide open at the 30-yard line.
That's a play he'll want to have back when he goes back and takes a look at the film. He just looks upfield before. You see him look at the inside defender, thinking about the move he's going to make. You got to secure the football in that situation before you get up the field and try to make someone miss.
He was looking at Mitch Murphy, one of the linebackers, outstanding linebacking core that Lincoln Way East runs out onto the field.
Personal foul, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
What a penalty by Lincoln Way East. That will bring the ball up across the 40-yard line. Henry Hafner now 8 of 12 tonight for 119 yards. That is almost identical to what Chad Hetlett said earlier in the week. Well, we'd like our quarterback to complete 8 out of 11 passes. We figure that's a good night.
He's made some big throws too. Did have the one interception down the red zone, but you look at the ball placement where he's been able to put the ball against defensive players, taking advantage of their leverage. He's been impressive.
15-yard penalty. Rather than a 2nd and 10, now becomes a first down and 10 from the 42, and it will remain 10 yards to go for a first down. Number 91, that's Adam Hold, senior defensive end on the tackle.
It looks like Lincoln Way figured out what we were talking about earlier. When they spread the field, a lot of times you have to alert for that inside trap. That's what Glenbard wants to do. Spread you out defensively and try to pop a play inside.
Hold part of the defensive front. Adam Hold, Kurt Olbrich, Mike Stackerwitz, Scott Pressel. They're jumping around. That creates a little bit of a hole, but it's closed quickly. This is a speed-based defense.
Both teams are. Both teams fly to the football. Glenbard West tried the power scheme again, that power roll blocking, pull the guard, kick out, and try to pop the ball to the second level of the defense. But now they're in a situation, 3rd and 8, their defense just gave up a score. You want to move the sticks here. You really want to move the sticks. You want to keep the offense on the field and start controlling the clock, put together a long drive to take control of this football game once again.
Marcus will be a tight end on the left side. Everybody in tight. Play clock showed 0. And Glenbard West will take a timeout.
Timeout. Glenbard West. First timeout.
Second timeout.
Second half.
2 timeouts remaining here in this half with 54 seconds to play. And speaking of to play, it's an 8A game that's coming up following this one. Glenbard North and Mount Carmel. You see all the action from Friday and Saturday. Maroa Forsyth winners in a crazy game over Stockton in 1A. It was Mercer County, the 14-7 win in 2A. Aurora Christian, that's a deceiving score, 42-12. That's what happened. However, that was a 2-point game with 8.5 minutes to play. Then Rochester scored big in the first half to pull away. Montini had a 19-0 lead before they won their 4th in a row. Greek Boney behind Laquan Treadwell. 33-26 winners in 6A. And we've got a good one here, just as we suspected. These two teams, Glenbard West and Lincoln Way East, the final Associated Press rankings had them tied, ranked number 1 in Class 7A. Rob Zvonar, the 12th year head coach of the Griffins. His teams have never missed the playoffs. In the first year they did that, it was with an entire junior class. There was no senior class on the football program. Chad Hetlett on the other side, all he's done in his 6 years is go 64-10. He took an 0-9 team that was there before he started. He turned it into a 6-5 and a second-round playoff team. 3rd down and long, big play coming up, a screen to Zito. Joey Zito has room, big room for Zito into Lincoln Way territory at the 37-yard line.
It's a great play call, Dave, because you have the bunch to the strong or close side of the formation. You draw the defenders over there, come back to the open or weak side of the formation, and get the little inside screen to the running back. Great execution. Look at the blocks down the field, Dave. You get guys in the second level of defense. It's easy to move the field and move the sticks.
Zito takes this to the 39-yard line, a 21-yard pass completion on 3rd and 7. Joe Zito, the forgotten man, it's a 3-year starter. All the attention Scott Andrews has gotten this year. Zito, that steady senior. Straight up the middle, Tony, Devontae Tony. Talk about a strong man in the backfield. Tony, a track person. He is a shot putter as a running back. And we have played through 3 quarters. The top 2 teams in Class 7A they have navigated their way to this championship ball game. 10-6, separated by 4. Glenbard West, Lincoln Way East. We go to the fourth right after this.
Ten to 6 our score. Matt Rodewald at Memorial Stadium. You can hear it in the stands. 86 combined regular season wins between these two teams, yet no state championships. So far we're seeing a classic, defensive battle, an injured star quarterback. These two teams are desperate for a state championship. We'll see who comes out on top. Guys?
Thanks, man. I think the key word right there was desperate. I mean, you have felt that electricity, the urgency all night long. Tom Fiesel, buckle that chin strap up. He wants another chance. Glenbard West, though, on the move. First play of the fourth quarter. That ball's fumbled. No indication from our officials. Number 95, Mike Stakowicz, has the ball. And they'll rule that he was down by contact. Boy, you see a turnover at this stage of the game, your heart jumps.
It's Langendorfer again, making the play, ducking under the block, putting a helmet on the football. And it looks like he was down, though, Dave. It looked like his elbow was down to force the ball to come out.
Scott Andrews on the carry. It is a loss on the play. Back to the 36-yard line, a 3rd down and 7. Hafner looking for Andrews. There he is. It's a first down. Andrews came all the way from the right side to the left side, was wide open.
That's a man coverage beater. It's a great call because they use that jet sweep pre-snap motion to get him going. And then they run the vertical concepts outside of that. So what you do is you create a natural pick situation, allow them to get to the flat. You got someone in trail man position right there. That's a first down. Nice execution, nice play call by Glenbard West.
Adam O'Grady helplessly watching Andrews come across the field. 1st and 10, Glenbard West Hilltoppers. The 27-yard line of Lincoln Way East. A 4-point difference. Remember, that missed extra point after the Griffins touchdown looming large here. Inside the 25.
Back to the power game. They're not going to abandon that. Even though production has not been there tonight, Glenbard West is still a power football team. That's what you do in these situations. You ride your offense. You go back to your playbook, the first page of the playbook in a fourth quarter situation like this, and say, what got us here? Let's run it. Let's execute it.
Andrews has had a tough going tonight. 13 carries for 20 yards. Only 38 yards rushing tonight for the Hilltoppers, and that is their bread and butter.
Yeah, they've been struggling. I mean, give Lincoln Way, give both defenses credit tonight. I mean, this looks like an SEC football game. That's what it looks like. A lot of speed in the ball.
Pitch to the left side. 3.5 yards short of a first down. That's Devontae Toney with the carry. Well, now you get into these 3rd down situations. See number 51 leading the way. That's Nick Garland, all-stater, 3-year starter for the Hilltoppers.
In 3rd and 4, we haven't seen those inside breaking routes in Nathan Marcus for a long time, Dave. Might be the time to go back to your Division I tight end and say, make a play for us. Help us move the sticks here.
He's lined up tight end right. And now he'll switch to the left side. Motion Zito. And off Andrews. You hear the pops. That's short of a first down. Lincoln Way East said they have it. And they do. Huge turnover by the Lincoln Way East defense. Kyle Langendorfer, the ball in his hands.
He's a football player now, isn't he?
He is.
He's a football player. He is always around the ball, always making plays, and that's a sign of a true player. Guys that are around the football and being active.
This is Scott Andrews into the hole. Can't tell if that ball was punched away. Evidently it was punched away in the tackle. Celebrating is Jarrett Leakus. He has an interception already this year. But here's Lincoln Way East, under 10 minutes to play, starting at their own 19-yard line, trailing by 4. On the ground. Corbett. Hit hard, but positive yardage.
But they're getting to that edge now, Dave. That's how they scored their touchdown. They're getting to that edge. It's one difference so far with Lincoln Way. Yes, they don't have the quarterback in terms of the explosive capability right now because of the knee injury, but their running backs are testing the edge of that defense.
Glad you've joined us here in 7A. Susanna Collins, Matt Rodewald on the sidelines. I'm Dave Bernhardt, joined by 7-year NFL veteran Matt Bowen in the booth. And East will plow forward for another 3. Colangelo that time.
Colangelo's run hard tonight. Give him that. He's run very hard. Those inside traps against this defense, those inside zone reads, you're going to take a lot of contact. He's playing hard football tonight.
Moments like this are what state championship games are about. 3rd down and 3. Corbett was spinning. It looked like he was going to have it, and he took a hit. He may have been denied. Let's see what type of forward progress he's given. Hayden Carlson was the one that prevented Corbett from getting the extension. And we will await the measurement.
This is big now. This is big because if they don't have this, this creates a tough decision. Because you're down 10-6, there's still over 9 minutes left.
That's short of a first down. 4th and that much. 9:12 left.
Tough decision. You're a 13-0 football team. Do you think you can get a half a yard? That's the question. Do you think you can get a half a yard and continue this drive? Because you're not, you're giving it back to Glenbard West.
Fiesel the quarterback. Colangelo will stand behind him. Chad Hedlett shouts to his defense. The Griffins need half a yard. Fiesel under center. Nick Allegretti. The Hilltoppers say no, no, no.
He didn't get much out the field. All depends on the spot. Anytime a quarterback sneak, it all depends on the spot.
And they give him the first down. They give it all the way to the 30. The chains will move. Clock is frozen momentarily with 9:07 to play. Lincoln Way East trailing 10-6. Here's the look. Boy, that's great penetration there for Glenbard West. Number 33, Jack Wheeler. Shot through, just could not pull Fiesel back.
Now you got a fresh set of downs. Go back to your offense. Still plenty of time left in this football game.
Nothing there. Ruben Dunbar.
He's been around the football a lot tonight too. Something we talked about in the top of the show. Division I talent. See if he has a Division I effort tonight. I think he has had that. He's been around the football. He's bringing his pads on contact. Been fun to watch.
East back to the line. It's a 3-man defensive front for Glenbard West. Fiesel. Actually, and that's the 3rd knockdown of this game. Dunbar once again will bat it away.
You know, you see that in the pro game on Sundays all the time and Monday nights too with J.J. Watt of the Houston Texans. And it's the same situation. You can't get home, get your hands up. That's what defensive linemen are taught. You rush hard, but you have to know as a defensive lineman, if you're not going to get home, try to alter the pass, and especially if they're trying to throw the outside hitch route, make a play.
Stan 6'3", he's got a vertical as well. That brings up a 3rd and 9. Time for Fiesel. Knocked away. Hayden Carlson with the stick.
That's a great play as a defensive back. It's called playing the pocket. You drive downhill in the football. Yes, the receiver has created leverage against you, running that inside curl, but you drive downhill, you rake, you do whatever you have to. You punch that ball, you get it out in this situation.
Jordan Daniels had the opportunity, but that man right there now back to return his punt. The junior, one of the top junior cornerbacks in the state, Hayden Carlson, denies Lincoln Way East on that possession. Lincoln Way East will look for a roll. They'll get it. And the ball will roll out of bounds at the 34-yard line following a 35-yard punt. 8:09 to play, and now it's the Hilltoppers from Glenbard West looking for their state title. Their offense comes onto the field.
Big drive right here. Big drive right here. If you put points on the board, you can basically put this game away. And if you don't get a first down here, remember we talked about field position, Dave. You have to get some first down just to create some field position for your defense. It's a big offensive drive for Glenbard West.
Hilltoppers tonight have rushed for 43 yards. They passed for 145. Total yardage, Glenbard West 188, Lincoln Way East 173. Zito takes a hit. We'll get about 4, maybe 5 yards. Turnover for Glenbard West is not proved costly in terms of Lincoln Way East scoring. However, field position certainly turned around. Zito's gotten a little bit more touches here in the second half.
Yeah, and he's running downhill hard, a little misdirection. It's a good play on first down, Dave. Now it gives you 2nd and 5 and go back to your offense once again. But when you win on first downs, and that's a win on first down, gives you a lot of options.
It's again Tony. Now the whistles blow very close to the first down. There's number 1 pulling himself up, Joe Zito, 5'9", 185-pound senior. 3rd down, about a yard.
Looks like Ruben Dunbar is coming into the game too. You know, I would expect Devontae Tony here, some kind of inside handoff, or that power roll we've been seeing all night when they pull the backside guard and kick out. But it should be power football, full house backfield.
Nick Garland also in that full house backfield. Zito, he was hit initially. Flying through there was Jarrett Lekas. Boy, the officials are earning their money tonight with their spots.
And that's just a double lead. Look at the play, though, coming over the top of the linebacker. Good spot. That's a double lead. Where do you see that? Monday night against the Bears. That's what Jim Harbaugh does. No tricks involved. You line up and basically tell them, look, we're going here, try to stop us.
Good effort by Lekas. However, it's a first down. Glenbard West, 6:29, clock on the move. Hilltoppers, 10-0 halftime lead. The only scoring in the second half was Corbett's 35-yard touchdown run for Lincoln Way East. The extra point missed. That's why we sit at a 10-6 game here in your 7A championship battle. Zito again, the workhorse. We saw this against Lake Zurich 1 week ago, Matt, in the semifinals. Scott Andrews got a lot of carries, but then down near crunch time, whether it be because of the health of Andrews or the experience of Zito, number 1 there got his share of the carries.
Yeah, when they needed to ice the game last week in that 4th down situation, they went to Joey Zito on the double lead. It looks like he's the ball carrier they trust right now. He's the guy they're saying, look, there's less than 6 minutes to go in this game. If we keep getting first downs, we're going to have a state championship trophy in our hands. So continue to run your offense. Dave, you're a power football team. Play your game plan right now. Run the ball off tackle. Try to move those sticks.
Another off tackle play. Ball being scrambled for again. Lincoln Way East says they have it. They do. This turnover comes in Glenbard West territory. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers. Lincoln Way East with 5:25 to play. Here's the play.
There's that power roll blocking scheme. Just ball, big hit coming in when he's trying to turn up the field. And that happens as a running back. You have to always know that when you turn up the field, when you spin back inside, is anyone surprised who hit him? Is anyone surprised who hit him?
Smallest man on the defense, linebacker Kyle Langendorfer.
All he does is make plays there.
From the 47-yard line. Fiesel, the handoff. 4 yards on first down.
And think about this entire second half, this hasn't been about Tommy Fiesel. He's just been handing the football off. Made the big throw on the 4 verticals, but this has been about their running back.
Kyle Langendorfer. You think he's ready? He'll take your arm off.
I told you on tape, man, you don't mess with him.
Sweep to the near side, again to the corner.
Getting that edge, Dave.
Good speed by Corbett. That's going to add penalty yardage onto the play. A hit out of bounds. Corbett with the gain to the 39. That's where he stepped out, then he took a hit.
Dead ball foul, personal foul, late hit out of bounds on the defense.
The roar going up from the Lincoln Way East side of the field. Here's Corbett.
Just that outside run. You see the block down the field. They're getting it, and you just have to pull up. You have to know as a defensive player, especially a defensive back, when he steps out of bounds, those refs are looking to throw the flag. But he's smart in that situation.
Charlie Sweeney with the hit, but that puts the ball at the 24-yard line. Remember, a field goal does you no good right now. A 4-point difference. Colangelo near the 20. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. Tom Fiesel, the senior quarterback for the Griffins, banged around in the first half. He is now the leader on the offensive unit for head coach Rob Zavonar. He will direct the traffic. He'll get it to Corbett. Corbett, momentary room on the right side.
One thing I will say about Tommy Fiesel right now, he might not have the ability to get outside, but he's really riding that running back. He's riding through that mesh point. He's carrying him down the line of scrimmage. That's tough as a linebacker or DB. You don't know if he's going to hand it off or he's going to keep it. He's doing a good job disguising that.
3rd down and 3. We're in 4-down territory, under 4 minutes to play. Each team going for their 2nd state championship in school history. Colangelo. Not enough. He'll need another yard. 4th down. 1 yard to go for a 1st down.
Okay, if you're Lincoln Way East, what's your gotta-have-it play? I told you about it last week. There should be one play in your playbook. You say, okay, it's a crucial situation of the game. What is the one play we trust the most? The Philadelphia Eagles, it's high-low. What is it for Lincoln Way East? What are they going to do to pick up this 1st down?
Fiesel back onto the field. I have to keep an eye on the play clock. It's down to 10. Griffins need a yard. Fiesel has it. 1st down, Lincoln Way East. 2:59 to play. Ball inside the 15.
And there's that QB power again, the play they used earlier in the 3rd quarter when they needed to move the ball. You see they're going to pull the backside guard, ride. It's almost like an inverted veer, they call it. When you pull the backside guard, you're going to read the defensive end. And then if the quarterback keeps, he follows that guard up the field. Smart play. And like we talked about, you got to go to something you know, something you trust in that situation. And no one should be surprised that Tommy Fiesel held onto the ball.
Colangelo near the 10.
If you're Glenbard West, you want that defensive front that you saw in the 1st half. You need someone to make a play here, Dave. You need some up-the-field penetration, someone to disrupt the flow of the play in the backfield. Because right now, yes, they're not explosive plays. If you look up again, it's 3-4 yards every time. Pretty soon they're going to be in that end zone.
The offensive line of Plunkett, Korkarikis, Allegretti, Arvidsson, and Wietendorf. Corbett looking for that one opening. It's not there. They stop the clock with 2:06 left. Hayden Carlson again. Brant Greeno, number 11.
You see they string them out and make them work laterally. This is what the Glenbard West defense looked like in the 1st half. And then secondary support. You see Hayden Carlson come up, take the correct inside-out angle to the ball carrier and make the play.
3rd down and 9. Fiesel put the ball in the air here. Tough angle. Fiesel run out of bounds. The speed of the Glenbard West defense, the reaction of the defense, sets up a 4th down.
And they wanted to hit what is called a flat 7, Dave. It's a flat route, and the 7 is also a corner route. They wanted to hit that off the sprint action. They had it covered well in the secondary, able to string them out, use the sideline as their help.
Lincoln Way East will need every bit of 10 yards here on 4th down. They may choose to use their 2nd timeout of this half. 1:59 left. Don't go anywhere. Lincoln Way East, 4th and 10, down by 4 when we come back.
The IHSA State Football Finals are proudly presented by Country Financial.
Two 13-0 teams all the way to the final moments of the 7A title game. The 2 seasons for Glenbard West, for Lincoln Way East, may come down to this one play. 4th and 10. Ball at the 13-yard line.
Yeah, trips to the open and weak side of the formation. You could see vertical concepts here, Dave.
Fiesel, if he could turn the corner, Tom Fiesel, it's short of the first down. Fiesel had the open field. He saw it. They are putting the high hands to Hayden Carlson on the hit.
You hope he's all right, but that's a great hit in the open field.
Oh.
That is an amazing hit in the open field, because you have maybe one of the top players in the state of Illinois who's trying to get to the end zone. You get secondary run support to make a hit like that. We're seeing it here in the replay. That is perfect tackling technique. Yes, you'd like to see him wrap the arms, but look at the angle, Dave. Football is all about angles from the secondary, okay? If you take a poor angle against a top-tier athlete, you're going to miss. You see that inside-out angle, and he really puts a hit on him.
Hayden Carlson with a potential championship win hit.
I'll tell you, I played for Glenbard West. I grew up in Glen. Those are the type of hits they'll talk about for 25, 30 years. I'm not joking. You won't pay for a haircut at Busy Bee Barbershop ever again. Not that I get haircuts, but when I did get haircuts, it was with Norm at Busy Bee, Norm, Jim, and Joe.
Well, there's Fiesel. It has been a tough night for him, and he comes up about 2 yards short. Compliments of Hayden Carlson.
But the kid's a warrior. That's what I'll say about Tommy Fiesel. I understand he was banged up tonight. Maybe we didn't see the highlight plays that I saw on tape going back to the Bennett game and during the season, but there's so much more to being a football player than just putting a highlight reel together. You have to be tough. You have to be physical. You have to be a leader. That's leadership. You know, I'm not a big rah-rah guy when it comes to speeches. Show me on the field. And like I said earlier, if you're a freshman or a sophomore in the Lincoln Way East program, you want to be like Tommy Fiesel. That's who you want to be like.
Wouldn't be so bad to be number 8. He's our KFC player of the game, Hayden Carlson from Glenbard West. 14 tackles for Carlson. He earns our KFC player of the game honors thanks to that hit. That could be a title hit.
Yeah.
14 tackles for Carlson. And he will just look at that scoreboard. He'd hope that he doesn't have to take the field again defensively. 1:46, Lincoln Way East has used their final timeout.
The Glenbard West ball security now, 2 hands on the football. You get 2 hands on the football, you can go home with state championship trophy.
The yardage doesn't matter. The time off the clock does. We'll see when they start the play clock. The big one winding down. And now they start it. Glenbard West will have to snap it with a little over a minute to play. If they can pick up 6 yards, they've got themselves a state championship.
I think you'll just see the same power technique right here. Probably the power O. I don't think they'll test the edge of the defense. Downhill football, 2 hands on the ball. Try to pick up this first down.
Not going to get there. This clock will continue to run. And again, we'll see when they start the play clock, when the snap of the ball can take place. About 25 seconds left, and some folks may ask, would this be time to not risk anything crazy in a punt, take a safety?
You could think about that because they're probably going to be rushing. There's no one back here, Dave. You look in the middle of the field right now. There's no one even back here. And if Glenbard West is going to punt this football, they're going to get an 11-man rush.
West will take the timeout. That pretty much indicates with 27 seconds left, they're not going to do that safety. I thought for a moment maybe they would take that delay of game, back it up, and then snap it through the end zone.
Right.
What a great 7A game we have had. We anticipate more of the same in our 8A game. Now you better get yourself ready between games because that 8A game is going to go fast. Two teams that love to run, Mount Carmel and Glenbard North. Glenbard North looking for their first state championship. Mount Carmel, they are looking for number 11. You see winners from earlier on this weekend. Champions, Maroa Forsyth, Mercer County, Aurora Christian and Rochester yesterday. Earlier today, Montini and Crete Monique. Glenbard West, that 10-6 lead. But we have 4th down and 3. We have 27 seconds left. Already here in the second half, the Lincoln Way defense has forced 2 turnovers. And we'll see how Chad Hetland elects to play it right now. As you said, man, nobody's going back for Lincoln Way East. They don't care about anything there.
No, and if you're Glenbard West, block, protect, get the punt off. Think about execution here. Take the snap, the steps to get through it, and the snap. Don't forget about the snap, Dave. You got to snap the football here. Execution is a huge part of special teams.
Henry Hafner is standing in the end zone. He's the quarterback. Hafner
that safety.
Will look to take the safety. He'll use some time. He'll run out of bounds. Stops the clock with 23 seconds left. That will make it a 10-8 game. Puts Lincoln Way East within a field goal. However, no timeouts remaining for the Griffins.
If you're Glenbard West, you want to see the same kick coverage you've had all night. Multiple hats to the ball carrier, swarm the tackler, keep contained too. Lane discipline. And this goes back to, to fall camp, in August when you practice special teams drills. You wouldn't think that would have come down to this. As a football player, you never think like that. Okay, if I'm in the state championship, is it going to come down to special teams? Probably not. We know what it is. You need a good kick here. You need good coverage.
There's Rob Zvonar. Started his coaching career under Rob Gleamy at Lincoln Way Central under the great Central team. Zvonar's plan was, I'm going to coach a year of high school. I'm going to go on to college. Things have worked out very nicely. He is thrilled to be where he is at Lincoln Way East. And that man right there, Anthony Scarini. He had missed an extra point earlier. Could it come down to his right leg? Scarini, 3 of 7 in field goals. His long of 39. Scarini could be the man. It depends here on this free kick. Now the Lincoln Way return team readjusting all their alignments here. Slight wind in the back of Lincoln Way if they can get the ball in close enough position for Scarini. Aiden Lakash put it on a tee. Of course, options, you could punt, you could kick off. They'll trust the right leg of Lakash, so this will be just like a kickoff from the 20-yard line. Lincoln Way East will approach it as a kickoff return. He'll hit it low, and he'll hit it out of bounds. That was not in the game plan. Let's get down to Matt Rodewald.
Funny thing is, guys, when it was 10-0, Nick Colangelo came over to Anthony Scarini in about the 2-minute mark of the third quarter and said, hey, we're going to need you tonight. We're definitely going to need you tonight. And then he went out and missed that extra point. His confidence could be so-so. But we'll find out if he can hit one if Lincoln Way East can get within the 25. The longest is 39 yards.
Griffins will get the ball at the 45-yard line. No time left the clock. That's how much distance the Griffins have to cover one way or another.
If you're Glenbard West, keep the ball carrier in bounds. Okay, we talk about setting the edge of the defense, especially right now. You keep them in bounds, let your guys get there. And don't be quick to get off the pile now. Don't be quick to get off the pile. You lay there as long as you can. Make the refs tell you to get up.
And what East has to have here is they have to get a first down. The reason they need a first down is they need that clock stopped in order to have time to get back on the field to spike the ball to give Scarini a chance. Anything short of a first down, there's trouble.
You're thinking outside breaking routes, the open side, actually the closed side of the field. Because they're on the near hash as we're looking down, Dave.
Please put 27 seconds back on the clock. The clock should not have started because the kick went out of bounds.
They'll reset the clock to 27.
So you're thinking outside breaking routes to the far side of the field. You're thinking an out route, a 7 route, which is a corner. Or if you're going to throw it down the middle of the field, like you said, if you can stop the clock, it's got to be an intermediate route. Think the seam route of the post.
They'll reset it to 27 seconds. They haven't done it yet because clock does not start with that kick going out of bounds. Of course, it does not start.
Correction, the clock should stay at 23 seconds.
Okay, so evidently it was 23. In fact, indeed it was. The safety took place at 23 seconds. It was 27 seconds on the play prior to the safety. Now here we go. Fiesel to throw. Not sure he was looking for there, but it stops the clock. No damage done either way.
The head vertical concept, it looked like he might have been looking at this check down option here, and I think he was. He was trying to check the ball down. That's not where you want to go with the football here, Dave. You have no timeouts left. If anything, throw it out of bounds if you have to, but don't check it down in the middle of the field. That's going to make the clock run.
Jack Wheeler with that knockdown. Fiesel again. He has a pocket. Now it collapses, and so does he! With 10 seconds left.
It's too much time for that route to develop.
And Fiesel slow to get to his feet with 5, with 4. Griffins get to the line. They spike it with 1.
Ugh.
Tom Fiesel staggering. Obviously outside of Sereni's field goal range. One play will decide the 7A state championship.
You see this route they want, it was an inside breaking route. They had the deep post to the open side, but it's just too long to develop.
And Nathan Marcus, number 83, in on defense, provide the pressure. Here it is, final second. It's got to go to the end zone. It'll never get there, and Glenbard West will win the second state title in school history.
You know, they want to throw the ball down the field. Glenbard West got a jam with the line of scrimmage, but again, like we've seen all night, Dave, this interior of the defensive line, the defensive ends, they've been so aggressive. They've contained him. They've kept Tommy Fiesel in the pocket. And Glenbard West wins the state championship.
That was Brett Fiesel on the last pass attempt. There is Tom Fiesel, and there is the emotion. Not from pain, not physical pain, but the pain of finishing second to Glenbard West. 1983 champs, 2012 state champions, here this year in Class 7A. So Brett Fiesel had to come on because Tom absolutely beat up tonight. Everything this game had projected to be, it came out. Hard hitting, low scoring.
Yeah, I think you look, what have people said? If Notre Dame wins tonight and goes on to play Alabama, this is the type of football game we're seeing in the college national championships. This looked like an SEC football game. Two really fast defenses that can hit and run the football.
Let's go down to Matt Rodewald.
One great finish after another, and we had another one here tonight. Glenbard West, state champions for the first time since 1983.
Yeah, we like to keep it exciting when we come down here. You know, double overtime loss in 2009, and then this game here down to the last second. And you know, so proud of our boys, the way they fought through the adversity and toughness, and you know, probably one of the best athletes in the state, maybe the best football player in the state of Illinois. So very proud of him.
Throughout this playoff run, we've seen defensive performance that have just continued to go up and raise the bar. Is this the best defensive performance you've seen while you've been there?
That's absolutely. It's got to be one of the best defenses in a long time out down to play on Champaign.
And on that defense, how about Hayden Carlson tonight?
Yeah, he played outstanding. It was you know, 11 dudes flying to the football, and you know, we bent a little bit, but you know, down to clutch, I had a lot of faith and confidence in those guys.
A 2009 runner-up after a double overtime loss, but boy, you get a win this time around. It's got to feel good.
It feels great. We kids work hard and the coaches work hard. It's good for us.
Okay, Coach, congratulations.
Right.
Let's send it over to Susanna.
All right, Hayden Carlson, a huge game for you, 14 tackles. You guys, your defense has been dominating all season. How have you been able to maintain that high level of play all season long?
Our coach has been on us every day at practice, and we always want to put the game on our shoulders and get turnovers and get stops on defense. So that's what we did today.
Well, you made some huge plays. No bigger play, though, than that last tackle of Tommy Fiesel. Take us through that play. What was going through your mind?
Coach just told me to be a player, and I dropped back, and then I saw him scrambling, so I had to be there and make the tackle. It was my shoulder is killing me right now, but
I have a feeling you don't mind.
yeah, no. This is the best feeling in the world right now. So.
All right, congratulations. Go join your teammates.
Thank you very much.
Dave, send it back up to you.
All right, thank you very much, Matt and Susanna. What a great 7A ball game. Great emotions before the game. A great game throughout, and now, of course, emotions at the end. We have our trophy presentation coming up. Glenbard West, your 7A state champ. Lincoln Way East, the last time they were in Champaign, they brought home a state championship trophy in 2005 with a double overtime win over Maine South. And here tonight, in a classic in 7A, it will be second place medallions for a team that fought and fought, including that man right there, number 18, Tom Fiesel. You had mentioned during the break, Matt, a warrior.
He was tonight, and I said throughout the telecast, this is who you want your younger players to look up to, a guy like this. I talked about the 91 team when I was a freshman at Glenbard West, looking up to guys like Craig Williams and Darren Dunlap. If I'm a freshman at Lincoln Way and part of that football program, I want to be like Tommy Fiesel.
You know, that's one of the things with the Lincoln Way East. They always do it for the teams that came before them. And that's exactly what this team tried to do. The juniors on this club will do it, and you said those freshmen will remember tonight, whether they were right here in Champaign, whether they were watching on TV. So Lincoln Way East will bring home that second place trophy to Frankfort. The Griffins will walk away, and Glenbard West will approach the podium. Dave Bernard, along with former Glenbard West star, Iowa Hawkeye, and 7-year NFL veteran Matt Bowen. And Matt, okay, game over.
Okay.
Now you can tell me exactly how you feel with the Hilltoppers winning it all, first time since '83.
I'm real proud. I'm proud of my hometown. I'm proud of Coach Ellyn, and for all the guys that came before him. You know, guys that, like I mentioned, Craig Williams, TJ Salerno, Ben Russell, Ron Tolentino, guys I played with who wore the Hilltopper jersey. And for this team right here, like I said, you're going to walk into Busy Bee Barbershop the rest of your life on Main Street in Glen Ellyn, and everyone's going to throw you a high five. Very cool situation. I'm honored to be a part of it.
Okay, Matt Bowen, of course, he'll be running down here in a second, I'm sure. He's got another game to do, but he's going to find some of these Glenbard West guys right now. And this is one of those moments. This team came in favored to win the 7A championship. And Chad Hetlett said before the season, I think this is my best team.
Yeah.
You have to get breaks along the way, but boy, you have to play well against a great Lincoln Way East team, and these people certainly did.
They did. They did it throughout the playoffs, too, and the regular season. You go back to the regular season when they were down at halftime to Hinsdale Central. They found a way to come back and win that football game, the 3-0 win over Wheaton North. Last week, the game you and I did against Lake Zurich, where they were suddenly, all of a sudden, a football game in the fourth quarter. They had to close that one out. And here, it's those big plays in those crucial situations. And Hayden Carlson to make that hit, it's a big-time hit. That's an NFL hit. Those are the type of hits you see on Sundays because of the angles of football. But it's a guy making a play for his team. And I've always said in those situations, who wants to be the guy? Who wants to be the star? You want to make the big play? And I think a team like Glenbard West, they have guys fighting over that chance. It's my turn to make a play. No, it's my turn. Because we saw it throughout tonight. Ruben Dunbar, I think one of the best games he's played in his Glenbard West career. And I'll say for both teams, even though Glenbard West won the state championship, it's going to be hard for those kids to take off that uniform. It was very hard for me at Glenbard West and at Iowa. When you're a senior, it's hard to take off that uniform.
Glenbard West went to a team camp at Winona State this summer. They always go to a team camp. One of the things they do is they always let the players go off by themselves and design team goals. And then those players have to come back and defend those goals to their coaches. This year for Glenbard West, it was the first year they did not make a team goal of winning the state championship. How did they defend that? Well, they said, if we meet all our other goals, that one will take care of itself.
And it sounded like talking with Coach Hetlet and talking to people I know in Glen Ellyn. This is a very veteran team, very confident team, and very business-like team. They go about their business. And I think that's the sign of a professional team when you talk about guys that getting the job done, making those big plays. Someone gets hurt, someone else steps up. You know, they had some turnovers tonight. It wasn't a game where they just walked in the field with no adversity. You're going to have adversity in a championship-level game. Whether it's in high school, college, in the bowl system, or the pros, in the NFL, you're going to have adversity. They got through the adversity, and look at them now, holding that state championship trophy.
Well, not just holding it, they're kissing it. There's your 2012 IHSA 7A state champions, Glenbard West, the 10-8 winners. That's right, 10-8 over Lincoln Way East. We still have one more game to go here. It's the 8A matchup, Glenbard North and Mount Carmel, and that's coming up.